All right, here we go. So I'll just start off by apologizing for the late go of it. It is the 4th of May in the year of our Lord 2022. This is the Weekly Alaboom. I have with me Barry, obviously, and me. Happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you on this glorious Star Wars Day. Here, I'll just show this really quick here. So that's what I was doing. I was at the, if you want to Google the Fargo Theater, it's a movie theater in downtown Fargo, North Dakota that has been there for, oh gosh, I mean it's almost 100 years now, and it's like, it is as old school as it gets. The seats are exactly the same theater seats that have been there for as long as I can remember. The So they're narrow as heck, right? They are. Yeah. So that's always a surprise when people sit down. It has a balcony, which is when my son had never been to a movie theater with a balcony before. So I said, and he's like, I was like, let's go up the stairs, and he was like, oh, it's like, what's up here? And I was like, oh, head on up there. And then it was just the idea that like there was a movie theater that had a balcony that you could sit and watch. And he was like, 10 years old, and he was like, this is neat. It's like, it's so weird. It's like he's kind of becoming that young adult that like, so like nothing really excites him anymore or something. So when I can get him to just kind of say and get like kind of revert back maybe a year or two, and things got excited him more and got him all jazzed up really more. So that was kind of nice. The real nice thing for me was that it was Star Wars New Hope, but the first movie that came out, but fourth chronologically, as my daughter was happy to correct me. The my dad, I invited my father, and I got the old man out there. He drove out and met us at the movie theater, and he's the one who took me to see Star Wars in 1977. He took me to it for the first time. So I went with him to a movie theater that no longer exists. It's like a parking lot now. It's kind of neat that, I had both my kids with me, and my dad was there. And so it's like the three generations kind of thing. So I was anyway. So spoiler alert, the rebels still won. Luke blew up the Death Star.
Amy.
Yeah, I know.
Expecting a change after 40 years.
And then, it was kind of neat. My dad remarked how young all the people in the movie looked. And I was like, well, they were like early 20s in 1977. So, yeah, do the math. I remember.
Ford was in his 30s, wasn't he? Wasn't he older?
Well, Harrison, yeah.
Yeah.
But he was still in his 20s.
Was he?
He might have been in his 30s. If Rookie Kid is watching, she would probably correct me. I do remember, just like there's a pretty good clip of Luke talking about Harrison Ford and about how he was like I should say Mark Hamill was talking about Harrison Ford and talking about how he was kind of like this. He was like, since he'd been in a couple of movies, and so he was just kind of like the person that like they kind of went to him to like ask him how they should act or how they should be, and this, that, and the other thing. And like Luke, when they did the scene in the trash compactor, and then they get out, and he's like saying, it's like, it's like, this doesn't make any sense. I was in my stormtrooper armor in there, but somehow now I have all my clothes, and those clothes aren't wet, and this doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't I just be like soaked to me? And then like Harrison, I can't do the Harrison Ford voice.
That kind of movie, kid.
Yeah, say, hey kid, this ain't that kind of movie.
It ain't that kind of movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's a good line.
But yeah. So, but it's it is really cool to see, and the Fargo Theater does this a lot. Like I've gone and seen movies that I've seen in the movie theater, and then I've gone and I've watched them like on my computer screens or my TVs like over and over again. But then like Jaws will be like there's a weekend every summer that Jaws plays at the Fargo Theater, and I always go and watch it. I go up to the balcony and I sit down because it's just neat, because it's just like you don't normally get to have that experience anymore, right? You don't get to go and get a big bowl of popcorn and just and kind of just sit there and enjoy a movie on a big giant screen. And like they have really good audio in there, the acoustics are amazing. Yeah, so anyway, you were saying I talked over you, Scott.
Oh, it was that line. I was wondering what it's like to watch the movie for the like. I mean, when's the last time you saw that movie in the theater? I mean, when they redid it, did you go to the remasters? And
I went to the remasters.
What was that? That was in the 90s, right?
Yeah, and then I'm guessing in the 2010s or in the early 2010s, the Fargo Theater had a weekend marathon that I went to, where it was it was a get there at 10 a.m. and watch 1 through 6, like one after another.
I don't think I could sit in the theater that long, but yeah, that's cool.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
and
cool.
the
I mean,
thing was, well, the nice thing was that like for that, it was like, you know, in downtown Fargo, if I ever have my gathering of Vikings, you guys come here, I'll take you to downtown Fargo. And it's like it's one of those like areas where like there's enough office space and people that so that there's all these little eateries, these like kind of like these restaurants that are only there. Like there's a place called Sammy's Pizza. There's a sandwich place called Grand Junction. There is yeah, so there's like these ice cream stores, like these gourmet ice cream. So it's like all these cool places that you, so when we did that and we went and it was just like, okay, we're in Attack of the Clones right now. This is kind of let's go,
Right.
let's go 2 doors down. We'll grab we'll grab a burger and a beer, and then we'll come back, and then like they just let you back in, and we went down and sat down. So it was nice. And the thing is they're pretty lax. I mean, as long as you're not like being real blatant about like dragging, like you're not walking in with like a 6-pack under your arm. But I mean, like if you like, it's pretty common that if you're there and you're watching movies, especially later at night, like they kind of understand people like will bring in a bottle of wine and they'll just sit there and they'll a couple plastic cups, and they're okay with that. They're very
pull sideways.
What?
Pull sideways with a plastic cup.
Yeah, there you go.
Styrofoam cup with a $1,000 bottle of wine.
Yeah, no, that was cool when he had he was in the.
I only watched that movie one time. I need to watch it again. I don't know if it holds up though. I mean, I kind of liked it. I was into wine at the time, like I was really into wine, so I was like, oh, it's fun.
I went to that movie with with a buddy of mine, and it was like he was the absolute perfect person for us to go and for me to go and see that movie with. It was like, it's hard to explain, but like the sense of manic humor that Paul Giamatti expressed during that, and like and how,
yeah, it kind of reminded me of somebody you might know. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, even kind of maybe looks like a little bit like him.
Kinda.
Yeah. He who shall not be named.
Yes.
But yeah, so that was cool. And then there was the local members of the 501st that the Star Wars cosplayers were there. So my son got a picture with, and they take it very seriously. I mean, there is only one Darth Vader. There's one guy that gets to dress up like Darth Vader, and he is head to toe like perfect, and and so it's like they are, and like I said, they take it extremely seriously. But I mean, yeah, and they all have this several $1,000 costumes that they wear. And my son took a bunch of pictures with them, and so he was digging it. And cool. Yeah, I mean, he even got to do little like weird cosplay, like the biker trooper, like, or the like the speed bike trooper, was holding out his like little gun, and like Caleb was hands up, and like Darth Vader was standing there to the side of him, it's looking like all menacing and Darth Vader-esque. So yeah, no, it was good. And it is just, so it's kind of neat. It was just, I mean, since everybody's seen the movie 100 times, you'll quote the movie while you're in there. People laugh at the moments, that like people, cheer and hoot the first time you see Darth Vader, so it's kind of more of an experience than it is to go see the movie.
Yeah, it's more like
an event,
Rocky Horror kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, I
would watch that.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's kind of like the same thing. They have a Monty Python weekend, so they do they start with they go Life of Brian, and then on Saturday they do Meaning of Life, and then Sunday they end with Holy Grail, right? And that's a little detracting because you go there and you watch and you're sitting there watching Holy Grail and everybody's just quoting the movie as it's happening.
Right. So it's a little annoying if you don't know
it's a little annoying. But who hasn't seen it?
Okay. I'm looking up what is it called? The Alamo.
The Alamo? Is that still open?
Alamo. I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure if that. I haven't opened my app in a long time. I was just checking to see if there was doing any Star Wars stuff tonight. I think I might have missed it though. I mean, I wasn't really gonna go, but
anyway.
So this is interesting. This is modern medicine. I had to go get a X-ray today. It took a half an hour to get there, 10 minutes to park. Not a half an hour to get there. It was more like a half an hour like to drive and park. Walk in the place, wait a good 10-15 minutes. I get an X-ray. I'm done in 1 minute. Yes. I mean, I literally was done in a minute.
Yes.
Yeah. They're like, "Oh, you're done."
I spend more time in the waiting room.
But I really have to do this? Exactly. I was just like, geez. And then within an hour, results to my phone, and commented on by my doctor. I was like, "What? Wow." I mean, modern medicine is a wonder, but we've got insurance.
Yeah.
I know people that if you don't, then that's like,
you ain't getting
how does that work?
You're paying that. Yes.
Well, I know people who've gone to the free clinic who've like sat there and like waited like 6
all day.
hours.
Yeah. I'm very lucky that Michelle has great insurance.
I do have a grievance. So one of the little eateries that is downtown, and I know it's a chain, so you might have one of these in your area, but there's a place called Insomnia Cookies. And
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's like basically this cookie place they stay up until 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. or some ridiculous hour, and they also deliver. So like if you are sitting at home at midnight and you want cookies, you can call them up and you say, bring me a dozen mint chocolate chip cookies, and they'll bring them out too. So it's downtown. It's like right down the block, right? So my wife had texted me and said, "Hey, could you bring me home a brownie or cookies or whatever?" I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." So we walked over there, and like usually, like it gets super busy after a movie gets out because a lot of people are like, "Hey, I want a cookie." They get done. They've had a bunch of salty, popcorn. They just like, get something a little sweet to like cut the, So I walk down there and I walk in and I'm like, and usually I'm like, God, there's just gonna be a line of people and I gotta get home and I gotta get the podcast going. And I walk in and then there's like, I was like, oh, there's like 4 people, 4, 5, 6 people, just like, and then there's a group of people that are already eating their cookies. And I'm like, well, this won't take long because it's just like literally you walk in, they're baking the cookies nonstop. On the off chance you ask for like a type of cookie that they aren't baking, like I don't know what it is, but the cookies are like 2/3 made and they're like, yeah, we'll throw them in the oven. They'll be ready in like 4 minutes. So you get your cookie. Anyway, so I walk in and I know exactly what my wife wants. She wants 2 of these, 1 cookie and 1 brownie. I'm like, okay, we'll get those. I walk in and like I said, I asked both my kids, what do you want? They also have ice cream there. Both of them said they wanted ice cream. I said, well, figure out which ice cream you want. So I know exactly what you want. I walk in and my son has picked his ice cream in about, first he was thinking he wanted a cookie and then he changed his mind. He said, I'd rather have ice cream. And then so he picked. And my daughter said, I just want mint chocolate chip ice cream. Done. Perfect. Okay,
Oh,
cool.
I like that too. We
Yeah.
probably get along.
Yeah. The green. She
Oh,
was gonna.
yeah, of course.
She was gonna come to BGG Con, but then she had a play that she had a role in, so she couldn't go. This year she says she
Or
wants to do it.
2019.
Yeah. Well, no. The last time I was in Dallas.
Oh, last fall. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, she says that this year, she's gonna hopefully make it because she really wants to go there and just play games. But anyway, so so I get there and
we sold spring out, by the way.
good for you and good for you.
Will be interesting.
Yeah.
Because it'll probably be more crowded than fall was, which is kind of weird. And it's at the old hotel. It's at the
Oh, the real
what was your grievance, by the way? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's okay. But here's
finish it. I've lost interest.
No. So here's so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I know exactly what I want. This order will take me literally 5 seconds to relay. I will pay my $20, whatever this is going to cost me, and I'll be out the door. And there's two groups in front of me, two groups of two, and the first two are sitting there and they're looking. And first they're talking, or well, what do you want? Well, I don't know. I just want to. Well, would you split that with me? Would you? And I'm like, I could order right now. And I'd have my stuff in 35 seconds. But no, I'm like, okay, fine. And then they're like, oh, I don't know. What do you want? I mean, I think I don't know. Do I want a s'mores cookie or do I want a tongue cookie? I mean, I don't know. Maybe a brownie sounds good. I mean, they're sitting there. It's like, well, do you want some ice cream on that? I'm like, come on. And then I was like, and then okay, yeah, okay. And then I'm like, awesome, you're gonna pick. And so then this woman turns and she's like, what would you suggest for somebody that wanted a cookie that was sweet, but and then she stops. She goes, no, actually, why don't you tell me what's your favorite cookie that's here? And I was just like, God, just let me order my food.
Sounds like my mother-in-law.
And then there's this.
I mean, bless her heart, but she's always like, what do you recommend? What do people here's her number one statement. Do people like those? Do people usually she wants the thing that people get.
Yeah.
You don't get to make your own decision. You just want what other people want.
So and then the person said, well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, different people like different cookies. And he's like, I like this. I don't even remember which type of cookie he said. I like this.
How many cookies do they have?
They have 16 different types of cookies.
16?
I'm guessing. Yeah.
All they do is cookies, Scott.
I know chocolate chip oatmeal and
I know there's
so I forget what the guy said, but the guy said, I like this type of cookie. She's like, oh, I don't like that. That has this in it. I don't like those. I'm like, okay, well, what's the point? So he's like, oh, okay. And she's like, do you have any samples? And he was just like, no, we kind of make the cookies per order. So we don't actually have cookies that were ready. She's like, oh, because I can't decide if I want that one, but if that one doesn't taste good or isn't what I'm looking for, then I'll feel like I shouldn't have got that one. I'm pretty sure I'll like the oatmeal raisin one, but I just maybe want to try something different. And I was just
buy both of them.
And the cookies, it's a $2 decision. Just buy both. And then she's sitting there, and then he's like, yeah, well, I'm sorry.
What's the name of that?
And then she said, you probably get more business if you offered samples.
Yeah.
I am going to.
Yeah, people are going to come in here and walk away because there's no samples.
I'm going to throw you. They're
coming in to get a goddamn cookie.
And
do they have ice cream sandwiches?
They will they'll take ice cream and put it between two cookies for you.
That's an ice cream sandwich, yeah.
There you go. So she eventually freaking picked her.
They have a place called Roly Poly, I think it's called. That sells those.
I have a creamery.
So then I was like, thank God. And then they paid for it and they're done. And then the next two people got up there and I was just like, just order your food. And literally it took her 7-8 minutes to put in her order for her one cookie that she got. and I was just
Yeah.
like, and then I'm getting there, and then then the next two people come up, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I haven't even looked at the menu." The guy said they got up there. I was just gonna like grab him. And just,
We were having a conversation here. Like,
I just wanted to take him.
But-
They'll have 2 chocolate chip. Just shove them off to the side.
yeah, exactly.
And then,
We'll
and then
make
they
a
were,
decision.
and then they were just like the same thing. I mean, not as bad, but like along the same thing as they were like saying, "Well, I'll let you have half of my cookie." Well, which one would you want? I don't know. I'm just like, and it was kind of one of those things. Like, I think they were on a date or something, so they're both being very polite, and which once again, great, that's fine. And then when I got up there, you could just see this guy was just like staring at the ceiling after the last 2 orders. And I walked up and he was like, "Hi." I was like, "How you doing?" And he said, "Great." And I was like, "What can I get you?" And I was like, "All this, 2 of these cookies, a brownie. I need a cup of mint chocolate chip ice cream and a cup of vanilla ice cream with brownie bites." "Thank you," he said. That's all he said.
Thank God.
Just, but I mean,
I trying to remember when I worked. I worked at TCBY, which is like the country's best Joker. I can't remember if there was very little hesitation in the orders. Like everybody was like, boom. I can't remember anybody ever doing that. I mean, we did samples too, so it was kind of, I guess, some people.
See, it's weird. I mean, that was something that went away with COVID, right? The samples. Like, it's like, "Oh, can I have a sample of that ice cream?" That's the other thing that always bothers me too. It's
I mean, I haven't gone out to get any ice cream in.
That's the thing.
2
Ice
years.
cream flavors aren't like secret, right? I mean, it's just like that's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you know it, you know it.
Yeah, no, it's
I
just
don't know. I mean,
no, it's one of those things
sometimes
where,
you want-
my mother's watching, so everybody comment, "Hi, Lance's mom."
Hey, Lance's mom.
Hey, Luana, was that it?
Luana, yes.
Luana,
Her
okay.
name means peace at sea in Hawaiian. So there you go. But yeah, no, I just what a
So I have a grievance.
Well, go for it. I want to hear your grievance, sir.
Mine is very, very quick. No half-hour buildup. My AirPods broke and started buzzing in my ears.
Ooh.
AirPods Pro. Those are expensive.
Yeah. How old are they?
I was trying to figure out like what went wrong, and I cannot fix it. It's just complete static, or like a bzz, 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 like when
that sucks.
it just
Are they
sucks.
wet?
Like, huh?
Did you get them wet?
No,
Internally? No.
I didn't
My,
go in the toilet or nothing.
My
I've done that before, by the way, with these things.
sister's done that with her phone.
So I've walked into the toilet with them in my ears, and it fell out while I was, doing my thing, and then I had to fish it out.
My daughter lost her AirPod charging case. I had to buy a replacement of those.
That's a key component of those, because you can't charge it without it.
Luckily, there's
I don't know.
people out there
I
making knockoff ones.
I
so
like
was
the
able to find a
AirPods,
knockoff
but I
one.
don't love them. I mean, the AirPods Pro work for me really well though,
I
Yeah.
have. I mean, seriously,
because they
like,
fit the ear more. Like they've
Yeah.
got a plastic thing, or like
here's what I don't like. Here's what I don't like about anything the AirPods. I've had Bluetooth things, Bluetooth, like not AirPods, but I mean I've had Bluetooth things. I actually like these. Like
don't.
my
with
I
the tether.
yeah, because honestly,
Yeah.
like I love
I
just
would
having them
lose
on.
them. Yeah.
And then you just you turn them on and off, and like the only thing I don't like about these is that the microphone is in such a place that, like, if I get a phone call and I'm moving around or doing anything, it's like because you're like scratching it against your like clothing or something like that. So I don't usually, but I use them all the time for when I'm like listening to a podcast or something. And but I love these. My wife got me those for Christmas. And and like I said, you just don't lose them, right? And plus, I can't fall asleep now without listening to something, and I can wear these.
I'm constantly like listening to stuff. I feel like maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. I don't know if that's where it's like.
My problem is that
I'm too addicted to media, man. I'm like, I can't turn it off. I'm just like I have endless input, and like I got to figure out a way to stop that.
for me, it's when I wake up. It's when I'll wake up because I'll wake up once or twice at night. I always do. I mean, gone are the days where I got blotto drunk and I could just sleep through an entire evening and never wake up, right? But I mean, it's like I will, I go to sleep and then like 4 or 5 hours later, like a room gets stuffy or something, and I'll wake up. And if I don't have the ability to reach over to my phone and just start up a podcast or start up like just some
Yeah, it's a
YouTube
weird
video or
addiction
something.
that we've got.
You got.
But for me, it's
I mean,
like
obviously,
I just lay there and I
Mhm.
think. I just lay there and think too much, and I just start thinking about the work that I have to.
I don't like
complete.
thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, and so if I have something like, oh, talking about like Elden Ring lore or something, or an interview with Norm Macdonald or something, it's just like, okay, now I can just listen to this and I can just slowly just go back. My brain stops thinking about stuff. I've had multiple people tell me that's like an ADD thing. I just think it's I start thinking too much about like my impending death. Or,
Like I thought about my
just-
like so I had this, X-ray thing today, and I thought about it like starting at like 5 a.m. I woke up like, oh, I gotta get in time, get there to get my X-ray done.
oh man,
Just
really?
and just,
X-ray?
it's just I need to like put it's so basic, right? It's like, I'm like, I gotta get up and gotta get the time, I gotta figure out how to get there on time and figure
You're
out how
new
to
to
get
this
there
stuff.
because I've never been there before. Well, it's just
Yeah.
annoying. I hate
Yeah.
stuff that makes me
Think.
Yeah.
I get you.
It's tough, man.
Needlessly think.
I don't
yeah,
know.
get
Yeah,
you.
I don't like the modern world. There's too much. I don't know. What would I do without it though?
I don't know.
And by the way, my clicker, my site ticker is broken now. It goes blank and then it comes back, and so it's constantly
We're flipping
flicking
through.
it. It's a I don't know what those are called. Like the clock that's in Groundhog Day, that flip
Yeah.
clock. It's a flip counter, and it keeps losing its number, and then it comes back, and it's like, okay, cool.
What
3
is
million.
that? Software or
It's a hardware thing.
oh,
It's a flip counter that I bought, and it ties into BGG's registration numbers. But I think I'm gonna have to turn it off because it keeps breaking. I mean, it goes to 0, so it has to all
3
day,
million
and then
times,
and then it's like, oh, it got the number, and then it resets. But it doesn't reset in a quick way. It has to flip every friggin' number 10 times.
Just trying to remember.
Anyway, what else has happened in the past week? A lot of Kickstarters.
Ozark's done. I'm not going to say any.
I'm not. Don't
spoilers,
say anything because I'm not
but
watching.
but
waiting for
but
Michelle to finish season 3 because we're.
But I've watched it all, and I'll just say they stuck the landing, and that's all
that's
I'll
good.
say.
That's good. I heard someone said it is shit, but whatever. I'm trying not to hear opinions about the ending to avoid the cloud my own. I'm sure I'll come up with something that I hate about it.
Well, I mean, you always.
You know what's awesome? The final season of fucking Better Call Saul.
I haven't seen that either.
Have you caught up with? Oh my god!
Well, no, I'm caught up, but I don't
It's
have a
so
way of.
good.
But no,
I
I am caught up with everything because they don't release the stuff until so I'll watch it on Netflix when they finally release the.
Oh, you're
season,
watching?
but
Yeah, I'm watching on AMC.
So I don't have AMC. So
I've got another grievance.
okay.
So if you have AMC, I have AMC through Uverse, right, which is a paid cable channel,
Okay.
right? So I want to go to AMC.com or whatever, AMC TV, whatever it is. I have Uverse, so it will let me watch their shows. The amount of commercials on that fucking show is like 9 times more than you would if you watch it live on Uverse. I cannot believe it. I can't stand it. I'm just like, it's got to be every 5 or 6 minutes of show. There's like 5 minutes of commercials, and I'm like, man, this sucks. Just that's another thing I hate. Grievance. Yeah, Better Call Saul is amazing. Kabuki Kid stuff. I mean, I almost feel like it's better than fucking Breaking Bad was fucking great, but man, Better Call Saul is so good. They've come up with some really good story. So intriguing.
Yeah. No, I mean, I look forward to seeing it.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah, I can't really say anything if you don't want to. I don't want to spoil
No.
it. Do you remember how it ended last season?
Yeah, I just watched it because it was on
you did?
it
Okay.
was on Netflix.
Yeah.
You know,
Man, so good.
I the whole thing about like he was gonna like the black and white stuff where he was saying, oh yeah, no, and then he changed his mind. No, I'm gonna take care of it myself. You know, just like so. I'm looking forward to seeing what that is. You know, like what his taking care of himself is going to be.
I don't remember that part, but
no. So like in the last season, the black and white stuff where he's running the Cinnabon, he after he had the nervous, and then he's sitting there, and the guy comes up to him, and he was just like, "Yeah, say it, just come on, say it." And he's like, "Better Call Saul." And then he calls up Robert Forster, who is still alive at the time, and says, "Yeah, I need another extraction." And then at the last thing, he's like, "You know what? Never mind."
Oh, that's right. He was going to go down the path of the way Jesse did, which was
no, he did because he did the first one. He did it. He did the first one to get that job at Cinnabon. So he did that in Breaking Bad, yeah.
Oh,
and then so he called Robert Forster again. He says, I'm going to need another. Like.
Gosh, I don't remember that at all. I mean, that's the problem with having the season so long ago out. It's been like almost 2 years.
He says, I'm going to need another Kirby Dryvac extra special 32 or something like that. Whatever the code word was for it. And he's like, oh, can I have your number? And it's like, oh yeah, that'd be like Maroon 743 Diamond 5. And he's like, haven't I already done this for you? And he's just like, yes, I'm going to need it done again. And he was like, well, that's going to cost extra. It was like the first episode of the last season. And then after he had the run-in with the guy who recognized him, and then he was like, you know what, never mind. I'm going to take care of it myself.
Yeah. Okay. Gosh, they don't show much of the Cinnabon stuff anymore. But whatever. I mean, it's all in the past.
No, he's a really good character.
So good.
Yeah.
And I'm ready. I mean, I'm happy for it to be over, but I mean, I'm gonna miss it.
Well, and see that, and I read something, and after the fact, after I saw the end of it, I just went and read some opinions on Ozark and just kind of digging into it and everything like that. This is non-spoiler stuff, but like they referenced like a lot of other TV shows that had like there's nobody to cheer for, right? I mean, like
Soprano. You don't really like it. I don't like the Soprano. Yeah, I mean, it's just like I really hate the Laura Linney character, which
you're supposed to.
I guess.
I mean,
I don't want Breaking Bad.
You kind of need to have someone to root for in that show.
Well, yeah. So it's just like, but they talk about, and it's just like, and they, and I'm not going to say anything else, but they talk about like all these other shows that basically, weren't able to like for example, like in Sopranos, they're like, oh well, did Tony die, did he not die? They just went black screen, right? And everybody dissected it.
Don't say anything. Stop.
I'm not saying anything at all about
no, just stop talking.
No, I'm gonna stop talking. But they're basically referencing the fact that other shows didn't of the same subject matter fail when it gets like Dexter, like kind of just fails. It's like, how do you? You're watching a show about a guy who kills people and a serial killer, and you're supposed to root for him, but like, so how do you end?
You kind of did.
Yeah. So.
Well, because there was always a worse character in those shows.
I don't know. No spoilers. I'm not saying anything else. I'm looking.
Don't allude to anything either. All right.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm still gonna watch Ozark. You know what's on tomorrow? The Staircase, a dramatization of The Staircase.
Oh yeah,
an amazing documentary. I don't know if you guys ever saw it.
Oh yeah, I watched that.
Remember talking about that? Yeah. So they're doing it's dramatization. It's got Mr. Darcy. I can't remember his name. I know he plays Mr. Darcy, and the lady from I can't remember her name either. Can't remember anybody's name.
Oh, for 2 years, Scott.
Yep. She was in that horror movie that we really like, and I can't remember the name of it either. I think I'm having memory problems. I hate it.
It could be.
I can't recall anything.
Getting old, Scott.
What is that? What is that movie that we like with the horror movie that we love that we can't,
Could be a little more specific.
It's a modern day one. Not Midsummer, but the other one. Hereditary.
Hereditary. I love Hereditary.
Yeah. I
I've never
forget her
seen it.
name. The lead actress is in that. That's in that. I can't remember her name. I think she was in Muriel's wedding as well. What is her name? Someone. Maybe I have COVID fog.
You're just getting old.
Tony Collette. Thank you, Kabuki Kid.
Who?
Tony Collette.
Tony.
And then Mr. Darcy, who I don't remember his name either.
You just have so much information in your
So
brain
much information, Scott.
that it's tough for you to go into the
That's
and
right.
track it all down.
It's the medication, Scott.
Probably is medication.
No, I'm serious. That does affect them.
Notice I'm wearing a coat.
Yeah, you get cold.
In the middle of May. Well, it's beginning of May.
Oh crap! It was like,
And I
it was like-
cannot stay warm in the house, which is sucky.
It got up to 60 degrees here in
Yeah,
Fargo
that's about what
Moorhead.
it
And I
was
was
here.
outside in a t-shirt and shorts. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Oh, I also you can't see them,
Oh.
but there's all kinds of empty spots on my shelves over here now. And
Oh, did you give away a bunch of games?
I sold them all for really, really cheap. But
Oh,
like
cool.
I
What'd you sell
probably
to?
over the last 2 days, I got rid of, I'm guessing about 110 games.
Cool.
Maybe, just like,
Yeah, we're trying to pull out all the flea market games for BGG. Because we do this flea market thing where we just sell everything for $10.
Yeah.
Every game for $10. 10 at a time.
Everyone.
Huh.
All for charity.
When is that,
spring? You do
Sunday?
that at spring, right?
Yeah, it's only in spring. Friday.
Yeah.
It starts on Friday.
Oh, it's Friday. Okay.
Friday before Memorial Day weekend.
No,
Yeah,
I
we
meant
don't
to.
start on Wednesday though. We do it's Friday to Monday kind of thing.
That's how you get people to come there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I see what you're doing.
I don't know. I mean, come on. Do you think people would really? That's the reason.
People
Yeah.
line up.
Flea market.
People
They got a 4-day
line up.
weekend.
I don't know if you've ever been to Dice Tower East, and I don't know what happens to Dice Tower West. But the one time I was at Dice Tower East, I was like, "So what's really cool here?" And they're like, "The flea market." And I was like, "Oh." And it's like, really? There's a lot of people that show up. No, you go to Tom's flea market, and I was just like,
Oh, I remember that thing. Well, yeah, well, they did auction.
Well, no. The actual
Yeah,
flea
they did-
market
I thought
is
they did
no,
auction.
when you line up for the flea market, there is the line for all the other vendors, and there's the line for the Dice Tower. And when you walk in, and I don't remember exactly how it works, and if Tom's watching, if I don't want to misrepresent, but if I remember correctly, when I went there, it's basically like from there's an entire, like, basically they set up tables so you can't go back, you can't go, and like they basically say, the games are what they are, and then you can see them, and they basically will wait, and like they point, and they start from like, here's the $10 games, the $20 games, 30, 40, 50, whatever.
Oh, okay. So
And then people walk in, and they're allowed to, and they basically allow like 10 people at a time, and it's like,
I think those days are over with those guys. I mean, don't they? I remember. I know Tom was getting rid of games, but now he's keeping them because he's got Dice Tower West.
maybe, I don't know, but I remember,
It's like a
but I mean,
library.
but people said like, yeah, we get in line at like 5 a.m. It's like, oh, what time is the flea market? Oh, it's like at 3 p.m.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So they can be the first
Yeah,
people
that
in
is-
there, so
that's
they can,
ridiculous.
because it's such a great deal on a bunch of games.
I bet those days are over.
Maybe, I don't know.
Just because they.
But
they-
what I'm saying is that if you guys say, yeah, we're gonna $10 a game, doesn't matter what the game is, $10, first come, first serve, you get 10. I mean, that's gonna be a draw for a lot of people. Heck, that's gonna be a draw for a lot of people that are just
It wasn't.
like,
There was probably maybe like 200 or 100 people that went through it. Like we went into the main ballroom, like me and Chad Hauser. Chad Hauser is the guy that runs the Cafe Momentum.
you know,
And he goes, "Why are you guys all not in the flea market room?" There's like, the whole ballroom is filled, right? And he's like, "Why are you guys not in the flea market room?" Because nobody cares about those things. I don't know.
I'll
I
say
guess
this:
it's a different clientele. Let's just say.
I will say this:
Yeah.
it is a different world. I mean, like, I think everybody's. I shouldn't say everyone. I think a lot of people's board game collections have gotten out of hand, right? And
Oh, yeah.
they've started to run out of space, and they're starting to run out of like, and they're kind of in that spot where it's just like there's too much stuff coming out. There, it's they
Yeah.
look at their collections, they're like,
Yeah, what do you need?
I don't want, and so, and because you go on Facebook, man, if you go on Facebook and just search for like, there's like Facebook purge sales constantly of board games. If you and people are just trying to get rid of the stuff and take care of it. I mean, and that's, I mean, it's just one of those things where I think there's absolutely fatigue when it comes to people's collections. I mean, there are still going to be the people, there's going to be outliers that have like, thousands and thousands of games, and they have it, set up in a certain way or whatever. But I mean, it's one of those things where it's just it used to be a point of pride, right? Remember, people would like, post pictures of your collection on BGG, and it was like this.
Still happening.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
not, and perhaps, but
Quite a
it's
bit.
one of those things where I'm like one of those.
I mean,
But it isn't. It isn't
you
the.
keep saying that, but like,
It's
I mean,
not your
there's like
world, Lance, but
97
yeah,
Kickstarters that started on Tuesday, and I'm like,
there's new
where's the end of it?
players
There's
every
no
day.
end
Yeah,
I always
But
keep thinking.
but
there's new
did you
people
get?
coming
I
in
mean,
starting their
you know what's
collections.
what's going crazy with Kickstarters, and is that like it's changing. It is, and I looked into it just basically because I'm in the thing of publishing, right? That's what I do. I that's my job. I work for a company that publishes board games. Like,
Oh, you do?
you're not seeing the giant 48-hour spike at the end. It used to be like one of those things where it was like, I remember when we ran Kickstarters 5 years ago with TMG, it was like, oh, we're at 250,000, and then boom, Kickstarter sent out that 48 hours to go email, and it was like all of a sudden at the end of that day we were at 330,000, 340,000.
I wonder if that's turning into spam catching now.
I think it's partly that, but what I think it really is that there is it's a more knowledgeable audience. I mean, it's a lot of factors, right? But I think I think one of yours is the spam factor. Like, totally, I will agree with that. But I think also it's one of those things where I think it's a more knowledgeable audience, meaning that a lot of these bigger companies like ourselves, like, Gray Fox, I'm not considering us a bigger company, but a company that publishes a lot of board games, or you go to like Awaken Realms, or you go to Lucky Duck, or whatever, and the people that are going to buy those games, they already have their pulse, they have their finger on them, right? Those people are already bought in, they've decided whether they're going to buy the board game, they decide where they're going to get it, and they're going to go for it. And so most people you're getting all of you're getting most of the backers that were going to give you the money right away at the very beginning. People aren't going in there to remind me of this when there's 48 hours left. They just aren't doing that as much. And or the people that are doing that, they aren't going to.
Do you get any data where it's remind me?
Yeah, you get data on how many people are following and how many people are waiting, right? But so it's like you kind of no, you better back it again, Kabuki Kid. But anyway, no, it's and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means the optics on it aren't the same, right? I mean, it's like you're still getting the people.
Well, it's hard to make. I think it's hard to get people's attention these days.
Well, you're on Game Found too. It's kind of hard to make a comparison there, ain't it?
Well, no, but I mean, I was looking. I looked at Title Blades 2, Like I was looking, like that's one of them, and they
Double
they
A's.
finished at like 960,000 with Title Blades 2. But I mean,
Yeah.
they had a slight uptick in the last 48 hours, but I mean, it was nothing compared to what Title Blades 1 was in the last 48 hours.
I think
mean,
it's fatigue, Lance. I mean, people have been getting bombarded
Well,
with these Kickstarters for 2 years straight.
I think
You
I think
know?
it is it is a combination of a lot of factors. It isn't there's no one thing. I think what it is it's just I don't know. And again, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just it's companies need to I mean companies are gonna have to pivot some more and like you used to be able to like kind of like, oh, okay, well this people will start organically talking about my board game that I have on Kickstarter, and they're gonna discuss it, and it's gonna somehow be part of the zeitgeist that's right in front of everybody's eyes, and that's how we're gonna get people, and that's not gonna happen anymore. I mean, you have to go out there and beat the bushes with sticks and get the backers to show up. I mean, and it's going to be more work than it used to be, and it's been moving in that direction for a while. And I mean, and that's
People still make their funding goals though.
no, but
Yeah.
again, okay. So here's the other big thing is that one of the reasons I was thinking about this. And again, I have no data. This is just my gut, But one of the things that I think is totally real is the fact that people have also become more wise when it comes to what Kickstarter does. They become more wise as far as like stretch goals and things like that are. Like people aren't looking at stretch goals as like, oh my gosh, if we can just get to 675,000, they'll have enough money to give us 2 more cards.
But
No,
like,
I mean,
didn't the
You
latest
blame 'em?
Searon make like 10 million?
what?
Didn't the latest like Zombicide make like 10 million?
No, I mean,
Oh,
it absolutely. I don't know how much it made. I don't the Marvel one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, well, the Marvel.
It's a Zombicide Kickstarter, Zombicide. Marvel.
Well, I mean, and now they're feeling the backlash because they're
Oh
coming
my
back.
gosh, I got my bill for the shipping. Holy shit.
They told it.
I could not believe
They
that.
estimated shipping to be $80, and
I
now they're
cannot.
saying it's $240.
250. It's $250 for my shipping bill. I'm like, ugh,
Yeah,
how am I gonna? I mean, I'm like, whatever, but like, really?
a lot. That's a lot.
It
that
just
is a lot.
insane.
Well, and that's just it, and that's the crazy thing too.
Triple.
It's like, I mean, and I'm not here to trash on Coolini or not. I mean, it's just like,
Well,
it's-
whatever. If that's what they charge, but that's what they charge. But I mean, I would like a receipt. I mean, but I bet it's probably. I mean, here's the thing. Here's another weird thing. They charge. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not going to say anything. It was 9 million before. 9 million in Kickstarter. Who knows how much it's going to be after the fact, right? Because people pledge $1 and
Right.
they get.
Well, no, and again, I give them all the credit in
But
the
I'm
world.
just curious if the I don't know. Like if you're making a lot of profit on shipping, you should be also charging taxes on that, which I don't know if that's the case.
Nobody's making profit on shipping. Well, I
You don't
can't.
think they're
speak for
making profit
anything.
on $250 shipping.
I mean, I don't know.
Like,
I honestly, I
feel
can't.
like
I can't.
I feel like $250 shipping. I mean,
I don't know,
I've
dude.
ordered
I mean,
I ordered shit from China to me for $150 shipping of a giant 2-box 50 fucking pound Thanos head. $150.
$2 Thanos
Yeah.
head?
2 boxes. It's 2 boxes.
well, and well, there's. I mean, and you're
Yeah,
not
it's a,
stupid.
it's a full size Thanos head.
Sounds-
You are not.
Where is
You're
this
I need
not.
to stick it back there just to show you.
Okay.
guys.
You're not dumb, right? I mean, so you
it's
know
like-
that the shipping
Yeah.
comes down to how the volume and the weight.
Sure.
And I'm gonna guess that an all-in on Marvel Zombicide weighs a fuck ton, and the box that they're gonna, the multiple box, it's gonna be 2 or 3 giant
That's
boxes.
I don't know. I'm just like I'm a little skeptical.
Well, don't pay it.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean,
No, I mean I
backed
paid it because I want the game.
Well, no, okay,
Right.
okay. So let me ask you this: did they? What was? I don't know. What was the offer on it? Was it like we'll give you a refund for your pledge if you don't want to pay the shipping?
No.
What?
I don't know how you, in fact, they had like this huge page of legalese ahead, or you had to accept, so you know, on like, it's their own pledge manager, right?
Yeah.
The first page was a very tiny font page of legalese that you had to accept.
No, well, we'll see what I'm
And I was
wondering.
like, what is that all about?
So what I'm wondering is that
This is so
if somebody was like,
uh,
what somebody's option was, it was like, you quoted me $60 for this, and it's 180 or 250 or whatever it was. You told
I
me it
don't
was
think
going to
they
be this
quoted
much.
it. Did they quote any prices on the Kickstarter?
They had I think somebody, I haven't gone to the page, so again, I might be wrong, and I don't want anybody to like be under the impression that I'm like, this is
Oh
what's
yeah, I
going
mean,
on.
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
But no, but the thing is that for me, it's
just
like one of
throw
those,
shit at the wall.
Yeah.
Let it
no.
stick.
So it's one of those things where, from what I understand, is that they gave a estimated shipping price
Right.
for the different regions and for what have you, and which if a company's smart, that's what they do. They say this is our estimated shipping, and they give a graph. And people can make an educated guess, and sometimes, shipping's $5 more, $10 more, or whatever. But I mean, this seemed to be like a really, really, really exorbitant increase. Which so what my
I
question
just have a hard
was-
time stomaching it, or believing it. Like, I don't know what realities are. I mean, I could be completely wrong, right? But you're gonna tell me that, like, okay, I paid $40 shipping for Massive Darkness 2, which is 92 different boxes, or Bloodborne, which I mean, maybe they lost money on it. Maybe they, I don't know. Just
I guess
seems
my question
little, like,
is
a
that
little out of whack.
did they allow for people to say, like,
Give me a
hey,
refund?
give
I
me a
don't believe
refund?
I don't believe so. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to speak out of turn. I don't know. I didn't look into it.
I'm sure they
enough.
would
Maybe you
have
could
to
get your money
somewhere.
back, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure
Well,
they
no,
would
I mean,
have-
if you look at the terms and conditions, I mean, I don't want to get all
And I
legalese
could-
here, but
let me see if I can go in there and then bring
if
it
you
up.
look at the terms and conditions of the of Kickstarter, like, you are supposed to make every attempt possible to complete the rewards that you are issuing to, but like, you are not guaranteed anything, right? And I mean, I don't know, maybe it's different.
I'm
I
not
know
saying
that,
legally. I'm saying I'm sure that Simon doesn't want to fuck with this too much, just to save face. Yeah.
Actually, did they even use their own pledge system? I think they used that one. I think it was Pledge Manager.
But yeah, that seems
can't-
like I've gotten freight for
track
like
them all.
$100. So that granted, that was a couple years ago, but that seems awfully high for a couple boxes of games. Like, I've had a bandsaw which weighs a couple hundred pounds delivered for like $100, 150 maybe.
Oh my gosh, Dallas is losing. They
They keep
can't
going
win
up
this
on
thing.
everything, man. I just bought my tickets to Origin.
Yeah.
That was a cool 900.
Oh, the
How many
flip phone
tickets?
tickets?
The flight, yeah.
Out of flight.
What?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep. I should have
From
bought it
Portland?
from Portland. Yeah. I should have bought it like 3 months ago.
How long of a flight is that, Evan?
I think one leg I think it's like a 9-hour total kind of thing, or 7
Oh,
hour
you got
total.
layovers and shit too? That sucks.
I got one layover.
It doesn't look like I can unlock it to go
Chicago.
back and see what.
I never went
maybe I
further
can
west than
unlock it.
Kansas.
Can I change my pledge here?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I do not know.
I don't know.
So this is what people are complaining
My
about.
card
this
has been
evening?
charged, so I'm done.
You are done, Scott.
I'm
You
done.
could always cancel the card.
My shipping total was $199.
$200.
Less than $200.
This is 2 pledges. This is a full all-in pledge and then a little pledge.
oh, you
So is this
shouldn't have
2
bought, you
separate
shouldn't have
shippings
bought
or
me
one?
one. Thanks, buddy.
Kind.
I wish I could go back and read the terms. I can't find it. I don't think, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you could get a refund. Who knows?
Yeah.
They also were like, if you don't fill out the pledge manager in time, you will not get a game. I was like, that policy is so frustrating.
Mhm.
Like, if you paid for a game, you should get a game, no matter how long it takes, right? Like, how
And
do
if
you
you
how do
run
you
out of the
say-
print run,
but how do you justify that as a company where you say, okay, you paid for a game, like I bought it, like I paid the Kickstarter price, I paid the $500, whatever it was, and then you don't fill out a form, and then you're like, oh, sorry, we can't help you.
well,
Like,
I
Give me
think
my
what it-
$500 back then,
I
please.
think what it comes down to is like, so when I ran a game store, if somebody made a special order, right,
Yeah.
we figured out that you have to charge ahead of time because otherwise no one ever picks them up. So, so when they make the order, you make them pay for it. And then even after they've paid for it, sometimes you'll have that box sitting, taking up your shelf under the counter for like months and months and months. And the
Sure.
question is,
At
at
what point?
what point do you sell it to somebody else, right?
Yeah, I mean, they put a pretty strict
Right.
time limit on
I
this
don't
thing.
think immediately.
Like, it
is the
was like
correct
maybe a
answer.
couple weeks. Yeah, it was.
I don't think immediately is the
It's
right
not
answer.
months. Yeah,
Right.
I would just like, I don't know. I would be able to probably get my credit card to reverse that charge.
Yes, I would suspect so. I would say you'd have to wait at least 3 months before someone could forfeit a product.
Like, we've got somebody reversing
I
a
mean?
charge on a thing for months and from almost a year ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, they can do that?
Wait, that they did receive?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, actually people
it's a chargeback from like a year ago.
people do that all the time. It's crazy. And as a business, you don't have a ton of recourse.
Yeah, I just have to show out every proof that I can
Yeah, exactly.
and see what happens. I'm
Yeah.
curious how it's going to turn out.
Yeah.
Because I've got all the proof.
Right. Yeah. And that's all
Just
you can do
like,
is send it into
What
them.
can I do? Yeah.
And then, obviously if the same customer does the same thing to a bunch of businesses, the credit company will catch on.
Yeah.
But they can do it here and there. And yeah. That used to happen at our game store.
Did it?
People walk out with the game, reverse the charge,
Yes.
and you're like, you stole our game.
Jen was
Yeah.
telling me
Yeah.
she works at the shop right here. They have, I don't want this to sound more, I don't live in a city, so they have state cops at the stores now because they were losing 15 grand a week in
Yeah.
theft.
Sounds
Yeah.
What, people just walking out?
Just walking out. Like she said, somebody stole one of them mini refrigerators and then packed it with stolen shit and walked out the door with. Yeah.
Is that like a Home Depot?
That's a weird.
It's a shop. It's a grocery store.
Oh, grocery store.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
She's like, I couldn't believe that.
We live in a weird time.
Yeah,
I guess
we do.
all times are weird, I guess, but
Uh,
it seems the most weird because it's where we're at. Played Wonderland's War last night
Yeah, how's that?
twice. It was fun, man. It took longer than I expected.
I heard it's like a Quedlinburg
It's
Kinda.
very similar, but
Yeah.
like with a combat focus.
with combat.
I
People
actually
tell me
really
I'm
liked
gonna
it.
like it, but I'm like, I don't like combat.
It's not like tactics combat. It's like, each round,
Like how
the little
hard-
base. It's kind of like
Yeah.
Smash Up where there's bases that are worth that point values,
Okay.
and you have to, and you instead of playing cards, you're pulling chips from a bag, kind of Orleans
Okay.
style,
Okay.
and you fill it's a bag builder basically. So you fill your bag with you select what chips you want during
Okay.
the selection phase, and then you bag
And then
build
you just do
during the
more
combat.
damage.
Or
Do
the
people-
each one has an ability, when you pull it
Right.
out, it has its number that it bumps you up plus a cool ability.
Okay.
It's actually a lot of fun.
I'll give
Yeah.
it a try.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's beautiful.
I am not going to be playing games for a while.
No,
no.
I got
Wow.
nothing. Well, this weekend is Mother's Day, right? So I got
Yeah.
everybody's
Oh, yeah.
like not
Yeah.
showing up, and then the next weekend someone said they're out. One of my guys said they're out, and then I think the weekend after that is BGG Con.
oh,
So I'm like, I think I'm done for the month. I'll see you at BGG Con.
was that like a week before Origins or something?
It's It's the 27th through the 30th of May.
Couple weeks, I think.
Okay.
It's Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Origins is usually second week of June. Near Father's Day, right?
Second week of June, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be at November BGG Con.
Yeah. Our tickets for that will go on sale at the end of the month, or probably June.
Cool.
We stopped
Yeah.
selling tickets overlapping shows just because we have so many people like confused
Yeah.
as to which
Makes
tickets
sense.
they're getting. Which
That would be me. That
I'm
would
just
be
like,
me.
you bought a ticket. Yeah, I mean, when you buy the ticket, it tells you the date.
I know.
Nobody
I know.
reads.
What are you gonna do?
It would still be me.
Yeah, so whatever. Slipped it back a few months because we used to sell our tickets for the fall in March.
Yeah.
March or early.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I remember it.
And then now it's just
People
like,
show up with the wrong ticket and they're like, "Yay!" Nope.
well, then we have spring, and that's it's just a weird mix
Yeah.
up because people like the way it was. I don't know how what it would be now, but like BGG Con would sell out very quickly. The
Yeah.
fall would be done, and then the tickets for the spring would go up, and people think, oh, I'm getting tickets for the fall
Right.
because they can't read. Yeah, I mean,
I just had, I think what's her name? Cynthia from Gamma. She called me to walk me through like how to get tickets to Origins through the, because I'm a Gamma member, you know. She like walked me through how to do that online.
okay.
I'm that guy. Do you see the button at the
Yeah,
top?
we actually Origins tickets go through us now. Tabletop
Oh,
events.
Oh, that's yours? Oh, okay.
Tabletop.events. Yeah.
I have to make an account on that tonight and sign up and get those.
There you go. Yeah.
Don't call Scott. He doesn't want to be bothered with you.
It's only taken 2 years, but it's sort of bouncing back.
Oh,
Bit of a
last
losing business.
year you couldn't really count, Scott.
Yeah, last year was pretty rough.
Or basically last
Wow,
2 years.
right.
We're hoping this year's at least maybe break even.
Yeah.
I hope you will.
But
I think there's a lot of business propositions hoping to break even this year.
Yeah,
I know I've got
I
a
think
couple.
it'll be. Let's see. A lot of people are like the "fuck you, I'm going out" mode too. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh.
I was actually talking to Jen about
Did you
going
guys
down the
see the
shore for a day or two.
trailer for the Obi-Wan thing.
Yeah,
Is
looks
there a
good.
new one? I haven't seen the new one. If there is one, I saw
May the
first
fourth
one.
be with you.
I'm actually more excited about the Carlin thing than the Obi-Wan.
George Carlin.
Yeah,
What's
That's-
happening
Carlin
with George
thing.
Carlin?
they got a documentary that was it Judd Apatow? I think he
Oh,
like
that's
the
right. Judd
director.
Apatow's doing it.
It's on HBO the 20th, I think.
Yeah, I definitely want to watch it. I like George Carlin.
Is it like an actor playing George Carlin, or what is it?
No, it's like a
I think it's a
docu-series.
documentary.
Yeah.
Like with actual footage of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so.
Yeah, George Carlin's freaking, yeah. He's awesome.
I watched a lot of. My stepfather was a very big fan of George Carlin.
So is mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And indoctrinated me.
He had so many good bits, man.
Maybe shouldn't have, but we did. We watched it when we were kids.
Right. That's such good stuff.
He used to be a little more like, or less dirty. Like he was a little more mainstream
When he started, yeah, he was very
when he started.
mainstream.
Yeah, he had like this. He had a record that was like very, very mainstream. I was like, this is not funny, right?
Yeah.
And then we got the dirty stuff, and then it was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now I understand.
You gotta get edgy if you want the laughs. I'm gonna do a little stand-up bit in my acting class because it's supposed to be like, what are you most afraid of doing in front of people? So
What's that?
we're in my acting class, we're supposed to do like a project of what are you most afraid of doing in front of other people, and then do that.
Stand up.
So I'm gonna do stand-up.
Nice.
Oh, I thought.
Wear a vest. They're getting attacked these days.
It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be real bad.
I was
I was
watching
excited.
that. Chappelle just got attacked yesterday or the day before
Got attacked.
Yeah,
on stage.
Someone-
and then
Walked
Chris
over
Rock
with
came up and asked, "Is that Will Smith?"
With a fake gun, right? And
He had a gun, a knife that was made to look like a gun.
Yikes. All right. Well, I can turn off the Dallas game now because it's ridiculous.
Blowout.
We're good. Yeah, it's like I can't watch them now. They're not gonna win.
Football?
They're not gonna win. It's basketball.
Basketball. Okay.
They haven't made the playoffs in 10, or they haven't advanced to the playoffs in 10 years, or something like that. And
What was the big like tall white guy on Dallas?
Dirk
Yeah. Dirk Nowitzki.
Nowitzki. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's pretty.
He's
awesome.
probably not playing anymore, huh?
No.
Yeah. I haven't paid
he's
attention to
retired.
this in a few years. I've been out of the game. You've always got so many goodies back there, Scott.
Got so many things.
I like his Batman.
I gotta unpack my little arcade game that I got there.
I know. I was looking at that. I was like, "What is
It's a 1943 game.
Oh, like the shooter.
The shooter. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I used to play that all the time. In the bowling, I'd go to the bowling alley.
1943 was a. Remember 1942 would give you 3 lives.
That one looks like it says 1942.
Is that the 1942? That is a 1942. The 1943 is underneath it. It's a 1943 and a 1942.
Nice.
They sold them 2. That wasn't 2 for 1, but it was like a package deal.
Oh, that's
You could
great.
buy both.
Yeah,
But 1942, you had 3 lives,
right.
and you were trying to shoot down the airplanes and stuff.
Mhm.
And then 1943 was a 1 life, but you had health. You had a health
Right.
bar.
I forget which one I played all that much. All I remember is I think the end of the first level was a big bomber that you had to
Yeah,
take down.
Big bomber you had to take down.
Which one was that?
Yeah, 1943 had a bunch of bosses.
Okay, that must have been
I
1942.
think I don't know if 1942. I think 1942 just had waves. There
Yeah.
might have been a big bomber. I don't know. I have to play it. See, I haven't played it in a long time.
Yeah, it's been like 3 decades for me, I think.
There's this company out there that's doing these mini games. I got Qbert as well. They just
Qbert?
launched a Qbert, yeah.
Oh, that's
with a-
awesome.
And Qbert had a I did not know this, and I always wondered why the game thunked
Yeah.
when he died. It
Mhm.
thunked, right? It has a pinball solenoid in the what do you call it, the case or whatever.
Yeah.
Console.
Huh.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like in
think so.
Qbert, when you fell off the edge,
Yeah.
it would go thunk, and it would
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you would hear this loud click.
Yeah.
I never knew that what that was.
Huh.
And they
What was-
put one in the little mini console.
That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
What?
so I had no idea. I was like, oh, cool.
Man, I used to love
Yeah, it
it.
knocked on the cabinet.
Do you guys ever play Altered Beast?
I played it on the Sega.
That was one of my favorites.
That was a Sega pack-in
Yeah,
title.
yeah.
One of the
Oh,
launch
Rise from
title.
your grave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh man, I used to love arcade games.
Ooh, Kevin's got a tabletop asteroids.
Asteroid?
Bonum, bonum.
Well, yeah, then it would just like slowly get dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it wasn't Jaws, but it was dun,
It wasn't
dun,
Jaws,
dun,
but it was
dun,
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 dun, dun, dun, and it would just get faster and faster. It was meant to like freak you out.
Then
and
you'd
get
have
you
that-
make-
Yeah,
Yeah.
spaceship
Yeah.
that would fly by and
Well, no, I remember like the way to get a lot of points playing asteroids was to wait for the flying saucers. It was
right,
like
but the little mini saucer would kill you if you.
Well,
waited.
yeah, it was way
Yeah, it
and the bullets are like so chaos random, you'd fly into them by accident.
Yeah.
But what you wanted to do is that you wanted to have 2 medium asteroids left because they were slow. They didn't take up a lot of space, and then you would just like avoid those and wait for the spaceships to come up to blow those up. That's how you got your points. But then
that wasn't good enough.
and then the problem is that it was 2 buttons, left and right, and a thing.
Yeah, left, right,
if it
and
was a
thrust,
joystick, it would have
and
been
a fire. Had
Yeah.
4 buttons and then a hyperspace too.
in a
5
hyperspace. Yeah.
buttons.
Uh,
Did you ever play Defender?
Oh, it's
I
one
never
of the most impossible
Terrible.
games to play.
Yeah,
ever.
yeah. A reverse button, a joystick that goes up and down, a fire, and a hyperspace. My God,
Made to be.
a quarter.
Did you ever play the sequel to Defender? I think it was called Stargate.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's awful.
It was also
It's like,
yeah.
want to buy mine? If you get it, you can ship it. If you can ship it to the BGG building, I'll buy it.
It'll only cost you $199 shipping.
Yeah, well, only $250 shipping.
$250.
Yeah, it probably will. It's probably a pretty heavy.
It probably
I know
is.
those cocktail machines are really heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
they are.
But you talk about those glass top little.
Yeah,
Yeah.
glass tops and filled with electronics.
Yeah.
I'm sure they got a modern day version that's later, but
They probably do.
yeah.
Those were awesome, man. Because they used to make them that they were just packed with all the games.
Yeah.
My roommate, when I moved to Dallas, when I moved back to before I moved to San Francisco, we had a cocktail table in the house because he was holding it for a friend.
Yeah.
So the friend had a cocktail table that he was just like, can you guys want to just hold it? So we had Gyrus and Time Pilot on it. Do you remember those games?
I don't think I ever played Time.
No.
You ever played Time Pilot
I don't think so.
and Gyrus?
Jarvis sounds familiar.
Which was another
I never played it.
Galaga type. You spin around in
Yeah.
a circle and you shoot the aliens coming down.
Yeah. It's an appropriate name. Gyrus.
Gyrus had really good music.
What was the name of that game where you fly around as a ship, but then over time you can collect parts and turn into like a mecha ship thing?
Heavy Gun?
Maybe. That sounds familiar.
No, I think that's where I don't know if you were a ship. I think you were collecting parts of your
Good.
gun. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know
Yeah,
about that one.
You'd like fly around and you could like
And then you
attach
would be a
parts.
Yeah, I think I vague memories of that, but I don't remember what it is.
I just remember it being awesome. I don't remember. I don't remember much more about it. I loved it.
God, there was
Hello.
something else. I'm trying to remember. I usually have all these things that I want to talk about, then I keep forgetting what they are.
Gotta write them down, you old man.
Yeah, I know.
Brain sheet.
I'm the same
Um,
way. Different reasons. Not the reason you're thinking, Evan. I used to be a mechanic. Damn it, I had to write everything down.
I see you still have a Rampage behind you there, Lance.
Yeah, because I played with my kids, so it makes me happy to have
It's a
that.
COVID game.
And
I have that copy of that actually.
And the other thing is that it's Rampage, and it isn't like Meeple Town or wherever they had to change the
Oh,
name
right.
to. And
Terror,
it was
terror
the-
in Meeple
Terra
Town.
Meeple City.
Did you
Terror
have problems
Meeple
with your
City,
boards, Lance?
because the video game company was like, hey,
Wait a
you know,
minute.
Yeah.
That's a direct.
That's a no.
Yeah.
Did you have a problem with your boards, Lance? I had with my original boards. They sent me
When they
another set
worked?
though. Yeah, they
I-
were all bending. They were cupping.
no, they warped. I mean, it was one of those
Yeah.
things where they that's one of the things too. If you ever get a game and like you open it up and the game board and everything is just pristine, and then you play it, it's perfect. You box it up, you put it in you put it on your shelf, and then like a month later, you're like, oh, let's play that game again. You pull it out, and all your boards are like that. It's because they got put in they got shrink wrapped while the ink was still wet, and
Oh,
that's the reason
interesting.
why. It's because it's
Maybe.
basically so like the moisture has nowhere to
Yeah.
go. It
Yeah.
just sits there and bakes in that, and so when it's ready to warp, but it's being held in place, so it can't go
Right.
anywhere. And then as soon as you expose it to the air like the moisture then leaves the cardboard because it's
Right.
able to dry out, and then it just
Yeah.
goes like that.
That makes sense. Yeah, like when you're drywalling.
Almost
you have to-
every board game I get now these days warps on me.
Yeah.
They're
I picked
rushing
up Terraforming Mars the other day in my boards.
No, yeah, they're coming from China, which is pretty humid in some parts, and then wherever, it's the same idea with wood. Yeah, that's why that thing I sent you, Scott, I was a little worried because I believe you're more humid than I am here,
Yeah. But those
especially
planks,
that time of the year.
those planks are short enough, where any amount
Yeah.
of warping isn't really going to be
Yeah,
substantial on that.
I was actually more worried about it the other way.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Twisty.
Yeah, but it should
have
be
to work
locked in
quite a
pretty
bit.
good with the plywood.
Mine still looks great.
Did you guys buy any of the Lego stuff that went on sale and for the May the 4th? Anybody buy
No.
any of that?
No, I didn't
How-
even
how-
know.
How about the land speeder?
I gotta go check this out now.
It's pretty good. It's pretty cool.
I don't have the sweet stuff room you've got, Scott.
Oh yeah, believe me,
I wouldn't have anywhere to put it.
this is not. Yeah,
Wait.
I don't have enough room.
So what it just
But
Ooh,
there's
the
a bunch of
Dagobah Jedi.
yeah, these little dioramas that they've got with a
Yeah.
they've got a
I did look at them. They're pretty sweet.
they've got the trench run and they've got the
Mhm.
trash compactor.
Yeah, it's like a side view trench run.
Yeah, it's like a little diorama.
It's
neat.
pretty cool. If you use stop motion cameras, you yourself can create your own.
You
trench
could
run.
yeah, you could do a little
Oh wow,
Oh,
that trench
God.
run thing looks pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
do that once. You do a 3-second clip of that. You'd be like, never again.
We used to do stop motion movies when we were in the class was called video production.
This
We were in middle
this
school. It was
$700 Imperial Star Destroyer looks pretty neat.
awesome. Ooh,
the which one?
The $700 Imperial Star Destroyer.
$700. Wow.
Those were on sale a couple years ago, by the way.
Millennium Falcon.
Really?
I haven't
Oh, the
assembled yet
Mandalorian, yeah.
because I haven't
That's
assembled it.
dope.
I do have the Millennium Falcon and I do have the Razor Crest. And
Oh, the $800 Millennium Falcon.
I do not have I have the $160 one.
Okay.
I have the $160
I have
Millennium
the one
Falcon.
from 10 years ago.
And I want to put it I want to put together once I get like the once I rip out all the flooring and my wife and I should say when wife and I finish the basement and because we're gonna make bookshelves and everything. Once I get all that done, I want to have like a spot where I can put my Legos together and I can leave them in that spot, right? And
Yeah.
and be able to like have them. And with the Millennium Falcon,
Oh, that'll
I-
take days.
Yeah.
Or you don't have the big one. It's
no,
the big
but with the
one.
Millennium Falcon, I would love to figure out a way to like get some fishing line or something and suspend it from the ceiling, right? And just have it be there. I also, my son for Christmas got me the Darth Vader bust, so I didn't put that together too.
Darth Vader's bust.
Yeah,
There's a tiny Corellian cruiser attached to the Star Destroyer on the side.
So we have the Imperial Star Destroyer built in the BGG offices.
really.
well, that's
Oh,
cool.
It's in the entryway, alongside the Cthulhu giant. Remember the giant Cthulhu? That's
Yeah, he's sitting.
That
he's
didn't cost
sitting-
$250 a ship, by the way.
No, my Cthulhu's up. Well, you can't see it, but it's here. I'll spin this around real quick. You can see it over there on top of.
Paint it.
No, it's just
Oh,
great.
come on, should paint it.
But it's
Come
on. But
on.
you can see it there on top of the speaker in the back.
Rob painted ours.
Yeah,
It was really nice of him.
that was really nice of him.
I haven't talked to him in a while. Not sure what's
I haven't.
going on.
I neither have I. I know
I
he
know
had
he
some
was
health.
moving.
He's moving and stuff lately.
He's
He's
some health
moving. He had
problems.
some health problems. You
Yeah.
know. I mean,
He had COVID real bad.
he did.
Yeah. Yeah. But it
So-
seems like he's getting better now.
That's
I
good.
haven't talked to him in person, just from some of his videos.
Yeah, just I need to write him or something.
Yeah.
I don't see a land speeder on here. I don't see that
The
anywhere.
land speeder is there. It's the Luke speeder. Did they run out of? Did they run out of
It's right here. Yeah, it's 75,341 is the part.
75,341?
Yeah.
I was just about to say.
Sounds like a part number.
Oh, everything's on back order.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure.
Ooh, and
course.
there's a jankier, smaller version, 75,271.
No, it's the Ultimate Collectors Series land speeder.
Yeah, 75341.
Where is it?
Okay, here we go.
What the hell?
Cool. That's pretty sweet.
Star Wars Day.
No, where's it?
I am not seeing this anywhere.
I'll send you the link.
You send it.
They got Dagobah Jedi training. They got the Trench Run. They got the Death Star. They got the Ahsoka Tano. They got the AT-AT $800, $700 Imperial.
Yeah, I saw
Lego
that,
is
but I
just
did not see the
ridiculous.
land speeder anywhere.
Oh yeah, where's the land speeder? Did it go? Did it go out?
It might be out of print. Or out of
I
stock.
mean, I ordered it.
Luke Skywalker's land speeder, 200 bones. It is
Yeah.
temporarily out of stock, so it
Yeah,
did not
yeah.
get listed.
Okay, I see it now.
So they must have just
Mhm.
taken it down so they can.
Yeah, it's hiding. Well, I got my order in.
For 200 bones, man. You're over here crying about shipping, but
I'm not.
you're
crying.
you're gonna drop
That's
200
pretty
bucks.
sweet,
You know what? I already don't
Gotta
like
get
it.
something
I already
physical.
don't like it. You know why?
'cause you can't have it.
No,
Why?
Scott's getting it.
because
It's got
those
C3PO.
it does have C3PO,
Little
but
C3PO.
if you look at the front of it, those are decals, and I
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
hate
Are they?
when I'm gonna have to put the decal on it
The details
myself.
are not a big deal to me.
Oh, I always
Okay.
screw it up, or
I
I'm worried I'm gonna.
Oh, I
screw
see.
it
It's got a little jagged, like
What is the official
Edge.
distinction between decal and sticker?
no difference.
I don't know.
No, there is.
One sounds cooler than the other.
Okay.
Usually a decal's like vinyl. Yeah. It's
All right.
Well,
Oh,
my
yeah.
dad.
We should talk about the Golden Geek Awards. We didn't talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
We can do that in a second.
I'm
But
out.
my dad and I used to. My dad and I used to put
Guess we're
models
not, Scott.
together. When I would go to Washburn, North Dakota, with my father, and go visit my dad's parents. Like we go into the town, and there was like this Ben Franklin there, and they had all these. They had a selection of models that you could purchase, and we'd always get a model, and we'd go back and we'd start putting it together. And my father, bless his heart, like it was not a thing that he overly enjoyed, but he would do it. He would put up with it, me, and we'd put these models together of like tanks or aircraft or whatever. And then you get done, and you'd have to put those decals on. And the decals weren't stickers, because they were made to be. The decals were made like if you ever did a model, they were made. You got them wet.
Yeah, they would wet them on.
And so then you'd put it on there, and they were so flimsy. And if they ever got like folded on top of each other, you were screwed.
Yeah,
You were done.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember
You were
Forget about
absolutely
it.
done.
Forget about it. How come I
Yeah.
can't find this Golden Geek? I just need to go.
It was on the homepage.
Yeah,
Yeah. Are we? You guys want to talk about?
Well, I mean, it's an award show, which means nothing. I mean, it's just a bunch of people saying
It means
what they
nothing?
think. Yeah.
nothing.
I don't
Great
know.
Fox games
I feel
on
like,
there that it means
16
nothing
years, it's actually worth something. There was no Gray Fox games, unfortunately,
because they suck.
This year.
It's okay.
which is weird. What was that game that got picked from?
They only put out garbage like after Empire.
Garbage, yeah. That
That-
shitty game.
I can't remember that.
I
There's
never played
there's
that
a
game.
couple of chumps
Nope.
that made this
Nope.
game called
No
After
pun
the
inclu-
Empire.
No pun included. Got picked that one game for Game of the Year.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
and we're
for
sold out of
science?
it, so it sold out
There
our
you
print run.
It can't. Yeah. Well, there you go. All right. So 2-player. Any guesses? Do you know?
Well, should I?
Well,
not have
I'm
the list in
looking at
front of
it.
me?
So Radlands won.
Yeah. Have you guys played that?
I
never
have, and I
did.
was not excited about it. But then again, what
I'm
do
just
I know?
curious, actually, what that made so popular. Because I mean, I feel like
I heard a lot of good things about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about it. I hadn't heard a thing.
It's
mean,
a
I'm sure it was
post-apocalyptic
fine.
fight to destroy rival tribes' camps.
Okay.
So I remember, I saw a video for Radlands, right? By you know, and
Nice
I'm just
art.
gonna stop. I'm gonna stop talking because I'm not gonna sit here and talk crap about anybody. So
Oh, you're
Um,
gonna talk crap.
no, I didn't want
It's
to.
got
It was
nice
just
art.
one of those things where I did watch a video for it that just turned me off on the game. So
Yeah.
Best
and I-
artwork. Hey, it's Sender.
Hey, how's it going?
What's going on?
I'm
man?
not staying long. I just miss you guys, so I hopped on.
well,
talking about-
trust
what's
me,
up,
that's
man?
all on your side of the camera.
So we talked about Marvel shipping for the past hour.
Oh, great. I just spent another 40 minutes filming my next video on it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh,
say. I'm
it's
pretty
gonna-
sure I saw you a video. So you did
Yeah.
a video on that.
So yeah, best artwork is Sleeping Guns.
Good
Oh,
choice.
Ryan Lockett's a good artist.
Yeah,
Canvas
yeah.
runner-up. Oath, Chronicles of Empire, and Exile runner-up, which is good too. I think the art. in that-
It's very stylized, but I like that style.
Best cooperative game was The Crew, Mission Deep Sea.
I never did get to play that.
It's so good.
Yeah,
It's
If you-
great,
if
but
you-
it's
I mean,
cheating.
is it what?
It's cheating. It's a reprint, sort of.
Not really. It's different. Isn't it different?
It
Yeah,
is
the
different.
name's
It's
different.
better.
Kinda. Sleepy Gods runner-up.
yeah.
Sleepy
Mikuro-
Gods actually was in a lot of
Mikuro.
categories.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and then Micro Macro was another runner-up.
Mikuro Macro.
Full House, which is another sequel. Okay, best expansion was Lost Ruins of Arnak.
You know, I like
Ooh,
Micro
good
Macro,
choice.
but that is a 2-player game.
I
Or
agree
play
with
by
you.
yourself.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because otherwise,
your
otherwise,
heads are
yeah, everybody's
butting
like
heads.
staring at it or trying to find it or whatever. That is a
we all have
2
bad
or
eyesight.
1.
We can't see anything.
Yeah.
Lost Ruins of Arnak, best expansion, followed by Parks.
Surprised
Nightfall,
it beat Dune.
Concordia.
Dune Imperium.
Yeah. Rise of
I don't think
X.
X came out in time.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Because I prefer Lost Ruins of Arnak. I love Dune Imperium, but I prefer Arnak, but I'm not the common opinion there.
Yeah.
I don't think X got enough penetration.
Yeah.
Actually, did
I've
it-
heard that about you.
Did it come out this
Just
year?
waiting for it.
I heard that about it too.
X is a 2022.
I'll buy that for $1.
Most innovative.
Well,
Most
who moved the rock? I guess Alex shows up and then Jeremy decides he can darken our doorstep once again.
Whatever. I heard somebody order diversity tonight, so I'm here.
Oh, there you go.
no, I'm up. I was setting up a game and I was like, let me just jump on there. I saw Cinder jump on there.
Hey, I
too.
need your feedback on those images, by the way.
You do need my feedback. You know what though? I haven't been interested in board games for a couple weeks now. So
What does
this
that
is-
mean?
This is art, so it's
You're
not
out.
board
I'm
game.
just not looking at anything.
He's not in the flow, man. It goes like this.
I'm not in the flow, but I'm getting back into it. So I'll look at your photos, man. I will look at the photos
I appreciate that.
because yeah. I
Jeremy,
said I would look
I'm
at the
halfway
photos.
in this hobby just because you're still here. Don't you leave me.
Oh man, let me tell you.
All right, most
Anyway,
innovative.
next thing.
Most innovative.
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 Oath Chronicles. of
Mind
Empire and
management.
Exile. And Mind Management did not make the top 3. Sleeping Gods #2 and Canvas #3. I think Oath is like super awesome. It doesn't get enough. I think it got,
Innovative.
yeah.
Innovative goes to Oath. What was the second?
Sleeping Gods.
What's innovative about Sleeping Guys?
The combat system was
I
cool.
think it's pretty. I guess. Yeah, I think the combat system is cool. People should,
The planning and the processing and the
Yeah,
combat
that's
system, I think
there's
really people really took a shine to that.
but also
Yeah.
the amount of content is just it's just like
That's
overwhelming.
not
That's
innovation.
not
That's-
innovation. Those
Content
guys.
is not
It's not
innovation.
innovative. Okay.
That's
I don't think
diligence.
it is. That's
Yeah, look, it's got a lot of stuff. Well, I've never had a game with stuff in it
I've
before.
never had
How
a
innovative.
Started with stuff in it.
Most lightest game of the year is Cascadia,
Yeah.
followed by
Yeah.
Canvas and Seven Wonders
I
Arcade.
put it like this: if Cascadia wins medium game of the year, I don't care.
I think
It's so hard to like.
Architect should have won.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I don't
hard
think
to
Cascadia is
bag
like-
on that game.
I mean, it's fine, but it's like to me.
I love Cascadia. I love it.
Why?
Like I played it again this weekend. I was like, oh, we had like about an hour.
It's
15
good, but is
I
it
was
game of
just
the
like-
year?
I whipped it
For me,
out
it
and I
is.
was just like,
It
the
is.
one game of the
damn.
year.
I mean, keep in mind, it's currently at what, number 70?
No, I
something
know.
like that?
I'm just like
Yeah.
I'm stunned.
It's.
No,
I think it's
you
game of the
know
year.
why?
Like
It's weird.
to
So
get
it's
your friends
interesting
and
how
family
a game
into
like
games.
that came out in 2021
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
blew everybody away. But like those games have been around for like a long time.
This style
Yeah.
of game has been
I
around.
feel like that game has been out.
Yeah.
before.
I just played Fjords. Yeah.
Yeah.
that style of game has been around, but
Kinda.
for some reason that game connects with me. I don't know
Yeah.
why. It's like you can play that game with anybody. Like
Mhm.
I mean, like literally, we
I
played
bet
a
I could
game.
go back 10 years and find a similar game.
We played a game. We played that game with a guy who had brought his girlfriend to her first convention, and she didn't really play board games. She's like, I don't really play board games. I only play one game with him, Machikuro.
Mhm.
And she said, I was gonna play. He bought me Machikuro for Christmas, the legacy one, and she's like, I'm afraid to touch it. So I was like, we're gonna teach you because Cascadia.
Yeah.
She won the fucking game, dog.
Yeah. That's a great
You know,
game. to
But
get
she was
people
so
into.
happy, and I was just like,
Yeah.
isn't this a fun? I mean, it's just it's a flat out fun game.
There's flat out fun. All right, our first controversy, medium game of the year, The Crew.
Oh, yeah.
That's
People think
That
it's
is
light.
interesting.
That
I
is-
mean,
absolutely
I wouldn't
different.
teach it to anybody that didn't know trick taking because I would say it is a medium level game.
I don't
but
think
maybe-
trick taking is a medium level
isn't
game
it?
requirement.
Is it-
I
you
don't
think it's light?
so.
No, I think
trick taking's light.
Really?
no, I think this type of trick taking game that requires cooperative nature makes it a
Yeah.
little bit more than a
Okay.
light game.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I also have
There was a
thing
bunch of
where
people complaining that it was not.
I often
light.
call games light medium, so
Yeah.
people understand that there's like a little bit of a, or
Somewhere in
when
the middle.
people say, what is they?
So I
what do
think
they
we
say,
need to break
casual
the
plus or something like
categories
that.
more. Light, medium, medium.
I like light
medium,
medium
heavy,
category.
heavy. We have
I
5
do like it.
categories.
I mean, Scott, if you're taking notes about complaints, I have like 5,000 people who want to talk to you about the review system.
Yeah.
What review system?
That's what they say.
The rating
Exactly.
The rating system?
Yeah, the rating system.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No, there was one that was just recent and it was so good. I wish I could find that post because there was a guy, and usually I don't care about the BGG post that people will be like, this rating system's fuck. But this one was like literally there was a guy who had all 10s and
Yeah.
all 1s. Nothing in between.
I love it.
So
I
we call,
was
that,
like,
we
that's
call those the
amazing.
Highlanders. There could be
Yeah.
only one.
You could be only
10s
one.
and 1s.
People
Arc
so
Nova won
great.
the heavy game of the year, which came out of nowhere. Nobody expected that.
like the Spanish Inquisition.
Everybody expected that. Oath Chronicles Crime. Oath Chronicles of Empire in Exile. And Imperium Classics caught a heavy game of the year, which is kind of interesting.
I never
Yeah.
even noticed.
That's heavy. I hear that.
Yeah.
And then Terraforming Mars did not.
I like it.
I'm actually surprised Terraforming Mars did not take medium game of the year. I think everything Terraforming Mars would have won, but I think
Yeah.
people
Nah.
got tired of it.
Nah.
Party games, so Clover.
kind of did this that year.
You guys played So Clover? Party game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Good game.
It's a true
Yeah.
party game.
Yeah, picked it up because of Jeremy. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, because
Stella-
everybody I talked to, I peer pressured them into buying it ASAP.
I literally bought it that day. I was like, "You're like the 5th person to talk about it. I'm just
Yeah.
going on Amazon and I'm buying it. I don't care."
Yeah, I was
anymore."
like, go on Amazon right now. It's $17. Buy it now.
Yeah.
Actually, I did what all true gamers do, and I didn't go on Amazon. I went on Amazon and saw it was $24, and I went on Game Nerd, saw it was $20.
Oh my
Saved
God.
$4. I made a $100 order.
Listen to you.
Except you pay
Here's
for
my
it.
gamer
Yeah,
card.
and then you made $100 order.
You really make
That's what
$100
gamers
orders?
do.
Of course, I made a $100
Gamer.
order, saved $4.
I just did that today on Philibert just to make sure the shipping was worth it in pounds. I was
Philibert,
like,
what do you buy from Philibert?
Today I bought Brazil. Brazil came out in English on the site today,
Okay.
and then I also bought Millie Flory, which
Oh, that's
is
good. Do they have
only
copies?
it's only in French, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
can pronounce
It's
English of it.
it's a non. It's got. It doesn't
Yeah.
have in the.
And Tom mentioned in his review that he just printed out the English rules and it was fine. So
Yeah.
I was like, well, ordering it because I didn't want to pay that. If you get the shipping wrong, you're at 25 pounds for shipping, and they boosted up to like 31, which is no, I
over.
will not do that.
You'll do
So
25, but not 31.
I will not do
Just
30.
draw the line.
That's where
6
I
extra
draw the line.
pounds.
So,
Okay.
so
Print and play.
yeah.
Gloomholden. Have you guys played that Gloomholden?
No, I heard of it though. It's like
I need to
it's
try
all in,
that.
it's all in one hand, right?
Yeah, something like that.
like Palm Island.
It's all. Yeah, it's like a card manipulation. Like
Yeah.
you can flip cards over and stuff. Rats High Tea at Sea and the Grimm's World First Steps. I think we're gonna kill the print and play category next year. There wasn't enough participation.
Yeah.
Every print and play
yeah.
game it gets published now. Like
Yeah. Right.
so, there's no actual true print and plays. Best solo game was Final Girl. That's a solo
Yeah.
game.
I never
Yeah,
did.
it is.
Sleeping Gods runner up. Arc Nova runner up. I would not play Arc Nova solo.
It's great.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's great.
It's great.
Yeah. You know how
But
long
how many
it
hours
plays?
are you playing?
You know how long it plays?
How long?
Less than y'all motherfuckers when I have like more people at the table.
45 minutes.
It takes me like an hour, maybe. Yeah, an hour.
Yeah. That
Best
game
thematic
stretches out
game
a
is
little
Sleeping Gods, which I think is the appropriate category.
Mhm.
Oath
Thematic?
and Final Girl. Yeah, thematic for Sleeping Gods.
Thematic.
Sleeping Gods.
Oh, okay.
There's a theme there,
What
Jeremy.
else was there? Then? Oath is there, and Final Girl. That's thematic. The best war game is an expansion.
know,
This is
I mean-
Controversy #2.
I mean, that's
The
that's
winner was an
controversial.
expansion, which I did
Yeah.
not know.
Wait, what was that?
Undaunted Reinforcement.
Undaunted Reinforcements won the best war game.
Oh, you didn't know that was a.
I don't know.
That's bad.
And here's the
That's
thing:
bad.
should I enforce the rule? I mean,
Yes.
I didn't know it was so maybe
Yeah.
I should have taken it out, but it was like overwhelmingly, massively
Huh.
favored.
Yeah.
Atlantic Chase #2 and Red Flag Over Paris. So maybe shift those up by one.
Yeah.
If you don't think that best expansion should be a winner. Best podcast is Board Game Barrage. The guys from Australia. You know those guys?
Yeah. I don't listen to
I've
podcasts.
heard of them a lot.
This
Heard
game is
of all of them.
broken and 5 games to do for Doomsday is best podcast. And I
Okay.
think next year we'll probably have to do best content. I guess YouTube channel.
Right.
Mm,
Here's the thing.
content.
You're gonna be number one is gonna either be Shut Up and Sit Down or Dice Tower, and then next year it'll be Dice Tower or Shut Up and Sit
Yeah.
Down, and then everybody else.
Right.
Ah,
Yeah.
Just put the
You're playing
field.
for 3. You're playing for 3.
Oh, Ronnie will be number 3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Number
yeah.
3.
So those I predict the next 3 years. Now people want this category, but I can predict the next 3 years of winners.
Yeah.
Best board game app is Gloomhaven,
Yeah.
Concordia Digital Edition, and Railroad Inc. Challenge. There you go. It's a good.
Yeah.
I think this year is pretty good. I feel like there's no dominant game.
Marakai.
Like
will
Sleeping
win
God.
probably.
Yeah.
Sleeping Gods.
Sleeping God's got. I mean, you know,
They're
everybody
wild.
makes fun of us because we did the Wingspan one like every category last year.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. What the
Yeah.
hell is that, bro?
Yeah, Sky. what the
I mean, I don't manipulate the game. You know,
Yeah.
like it's what people want.
What the hell is
People,
that?
got-
it's
it's got what the
we do
people
not.
need.
We do. You know, the Dice Tower. If you want people.
Electrolytes.
If you want people to tell you what the best games are, then you go to Dice Tower. If you want to say what the best games are, you come to BGG.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. Have they released their results yet? I don't know if they have. Or not. I think it comes out.
No.
I think
We
it-
just did the nominees thing recently because he closed voting, and I think they did an announcement for the nominees.
Hmm.
I didn't even check to see what were the finalists. All I know is there were some great selections. Last year was a really good year.
Yeah.
Some really good games and some really solid games at the top, especially at the top. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mind Management got snubbed.
That's
That's a pretty awesome game.
Which one?
Mind Management.
My,
I've heard
well,
really good
oh,
things.
well, I just talked to Jay
MGMT.
about this. I talked to Jay about this. You know why? You know what it is? All it really boils down to is that he didn't have enough copies.
Mm.
He did not have enough.
Yeah, I
copies
mean that's
circulating
a
out there.
Kickstarter problem,
Yeah.
right? Like you only
Yeah.
sell what you sell, and then
He
everything
had
else.
an
is-
inventory problem, and
Yeah.
that's not his fault because everybody came back and bought it.
Yeah.
But it was
Right.
in mid-year, and it was a time where nobody was going to conventions. He had a game
Yeah.
that would have been great for conventions.
Yeah.
If people would have bought it and they would have came back with some buzz. But when we went to Gen Con, and I remember this, he only had like, I don't know, maybe 20 copies, and he was signing each one. And he was out of copies.
Hmm.
So like he didn't have any.
Who
And
published that?
it's him off the page.
Yeah.
Oh, that's their own
Yeah.
company.
Yeah. Him and
Oh, I
Sen.
didn't know that.
And
Really?
yeah, I just got done talking about it. He was like, man, he mentioned it, and I was like, dude, it just really has to do with the amount of copies. And I feel like
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter because his game has staying power. So it just
Yeah.
doesn't matter. His game
Yeah.
is so fucking good. That game is great. Man Manager
That's
It
what
is
I've
good.
heard. That's what I've
Mine,
heard.
fantastic
Off the
game.
page
is
game.
a fantastic game.
Did not know that was their own publisher.
Yeah.
Run by award-winning designer Jay Cormier.
Are we calling that it's gonna be top 100? Because it absolutely will be.
Oh, it will. Yes. Oh, yes. Easily. Yes.
How many ratings does it have right now?
Not enough. That's a limited factor. It will.
So in my state of
182.
not
It's another 10,000.
in my
Yeah.
state of not necessarily, I'm just not so hot on board games right now, but I'm buying them like crazy. Okay.
That's always advisable.
Today I discovered El Grande.
Yeah.
Grande.
So is this a good game? First of all,
Fantastic game.
Yeah.
If you like
Yeah.
area control.
shit. Don't say it like that. Sender, don't say it like that.
It's one of the handful of older games that I stick around because like it's just so good.
So
That and Lancaster.
there's a variant
guess.
that comes with the game. I don't know if it comes in the game anymore, but like you could pick your deck. Like you have cards like
Yep.
I think I forget it was like 1 through 12 or something like that.
1 through 13.
1 through 15. There's
13,
a variant that gives you cards where you can construct your deck, which is the super really cool game.
Yep. That's part of the big
You
box. I
can
believe.
pick the strategies that you want.
Aldi, send me your copy. You
I
don't
don't have
want
it. I don't have it anymore.
Shit.
I got rid of it. I mean, I think I put in library, the BGG
How
library.
dare you? Send it to me. Screw it.
Ah,
That's a
Now,
big-ass
here's the
meme.
thing. If you have people ganging up on you in that game, you cannot win.
I like that.
And
It's
not
fine.
win.
That's how life works.
I mean, you'd have to people have aggressive. I don't know if I necessarily agree
Well,
unless you have like.
if me and
They can be
Jambalaya
aggressive.
want to pick on you, you cannot win.
If you're
I'd say
saying like
like-
you start the game and you want to pick on me, sure. But like,
Yeah, I mean, if we pre-collude
sure, that's
and
Is that a
sure,
winning
say we're
strategy
never
just
gonna
to
let
do
you win
that?
it, we're never gonna let you win a first place or a second place, then you can't win.
sure. I mean,
So-
I've never played with jerk faces, so I'm
Yeah,
fine.
of course.
Yeah,
I'm,
I
I'm
know.
just, I'm just saying
Yeah.
that can happen.
That can happen.
Where
but
it
that seems
could
like a not strategic.
Alliances
strategy.
could form, and you have a
Yeah.
meta game. They're like,
Yeah.
if Sender, you win the previous game, then like
Yeah.
you're
Yep.
not going to win this game. Like
You
we would
know-
always meta game, like, oh, you won the previous game, so you're not going to win this one. That's my game group back in the day.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That sounds not fun.
Yeah. You
There
were
was,
sounds
there was
unpleasant to
one
play
guy who
with,
got really
sir.
mad about the meta game because he was a very good player.
Yeah.
And so we would be like, well, you won the last game, so you're not going to win this one. We're going
Oh
to stop
my
you.
god.
I'm sorry, I couldn't play with people like
That was
that.
back in
I
the day.
know.
I really
Fuck
couldn't,
that.
man.
What do you mean you wouldn't?
To
do-
keep grudges like that, you know.
Yeah, that's just
repetitive.
grudges. That's not even
Like,
meta.
who-
Fuck
who's
a
got
meta.
the-
Like,
who's
that's
got the
just
grudge? The
grudges.
person who said they complained about the metagame, or the people that basically say,
who's the bigger
Either
fool,
or.
the fool or the
It's a
fool that
game.
"Oh,
follows him?
I mean, the metagame exists. If you play a game all day with somebody, you're gonna have a metagame.
Yeah,
But it
Yeah.
should be based on who won the last game.
Right, but I'm like, if someone's like my
So
buddy,
if you're gonna target somebody, would you target random or would you target the person?
No,
who wants to
so
win?
in our group, we
Whoever's
do have
winning.
rules around that.
Yeah.
Don't let that person win. That person being the person who wins the most often. But don't let that person means we play our own game. And push comes to shove when we have to make those edge case scenarios, then we target that person.
Yeah,
It doesn't
yeah,
mean we sit
if
there
you-
and maliciously gang
No,
up
no,
against
no.
them.
Yeah,
It would always
yeah.
be like if you're targeting between equal number of players, like if everybody's equal,
Yeah,
the person who won the previous game is targeted.
yep.
Oh,
that's
something like
true.
that. Yeah,
It's a meta,
that-
it's a metagame, right? So-
oh yeah, I guess.
I
yeah.
thought you
Uh-huh.
meant something different. Okay.
no. It was
Like,
was
Jeremy,
always-
before we start, you and I, the entire game shall never let Ozzy get
Yeah.
a single move in.
Remember that game 7 months ago?
Yeah, I just berate my buddy in my game group because I know he's gonna win most of the time. So I really just talk shit, hoping he makes like 2 inefficient moves the entire game.
Yeah, I get that.
I literally sometimes I stare at him when he's making moves just because I want some way I figure that my trash will and when he fucks up, he will yell at me. So hey, I like it. You know, I
I'll
like
be
it.
right back, guys.
Okay.
All right.
I have a problem with trash talk when I play with new players because sometimes I forget, like, not everybody likes that.
I love
Yeah.
trash talk,
And
but
so
I'm right there with you.
I
I'm
love
totally trash
Yeah.
talking. Then I'm like, "Ooh, sorry. Do you like that, or should I?" not
There's
do
one
that?"
guy
I
in our
missed
group
that.
who I don't like it when he comes because he takes trash talk personally. And so when he
Yeah.
comes to be nice, we don't trash talk and it
Yeah.
ruins the game. It doesn't ruin
Yeah,
it. It makes it less
right.
fun.
It's less fun. Yeah, for sure.
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead, take your move. Oh, that's a brilliant move. I like it. Good move. Solid move. Okay, no. No, I won't kill you. I won't destroy you. I'm not gonna rip your bones off your head and kill you. But like
Ooh, you've
So-
left your flank open, but I would never attack your flank. I would never do that.
like, oh, is this your first time playing board games? Be like, stop it. Yeah.
We recently had a couple of new playtesters join our little sessions.
Mhm.
And one of them is like totally newbie, like has never played anything other than Monopoly. And she was playtesting our like midweight Euro hex placement game.
Oh, no, I want to play that game.
Well, you could.
Did you
Yeah.
explain the rules well? Yeah, Evan.
It took us 3.5 hours to get through the game because she wanted to understand it.
Yeah.
Like she had never placed a worker before. She had never gathered a resource, like everything was totally
Yeah.
new.
Well, that's a good
She's like-
experience.
She had
So-
never built a tableau.
So somebody brought this up the other day, and I was just thinking to myself, like outside of Hava games, which are really good
Right,
at
right.
like teaching worker placement.
Yeah,
There's several of those, but like,
right.
what's the board game that you would say is the best way to say this is
This
worker
is-
placement? And
for
I
me,
thought like asking
Stone
for
Age.
troubles, asking for troubles.
Mm.
Stone
For me,
Age.
for me, it's Pillars of the Earth.
Yeah.
So
Pillow has some
Stone
extra
Age,
mechanisms in there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I'm thinking Asking for Troubles, yeah, and Stone Age.
I haven't played
think-
Asking Trouble, so I can't compare that one.
Oh, dude, Asking Troubles is like literally the most basic of placing something, getting
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Or like Alien Frontiers, like play something, get something.
Stone Age was my, I mean, like there were two games I credited for me being in the hobby, and it's
Yeah.
Stone Age and Small World. And it's because I went
Yeah.
from playing like Catan, and
Right.
then suddenly I played Stone Age and Small World 2 months apart. And I was like,
Right.
there's a
Oh.
coincidence. There's a whole world out here I've
Yeah.
never heard
Oh,
of.
really?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Small
Yeah,
World
I'm
was
just like-
one of my big ones.
So if there's a if there's a card game, just a card game that introduces a little bit more than just basic card game concepts, what game would that be?
A
What
card.
do you mean by card game concept? That's a wide
Just card
umbrella.
game, like
Just a
card
deck
game.
of cards.
Like
nothing else?
here's an example. Like, yeah, there's a difference between playing a trick taker and playing Tournament of Camelot. Like,
Mhm,
there's
mhm.
definitely a difference there.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about, like, let's say engine building with cards.
Right.
So you're saying, hey, like, we're gonna create
Have
a
you played-
tableau, because even
Arc
teaching
Nova is
point
probably the
salad-
first one I'd introduce them to. No, I'm joking.
Even point salad is a concept, right? Like, point salad
Right.
is not something that's just normal. You don't
That's
just
true.
Well, how basic do you want it? Like, I could think Colorado, you know, stuff
I was just
like
thinking
that.
of Colorado. I was thinking
But-
Colorado. No
Like,
thanks. For
how
sale.
yeah.
no
How
thanks.
basic do you want to get?
Teach you, yeah, teach you.
Mhm.
How about
Colorado?
Uh,
Colorado is a fantastic one. Fantastic game.
Yeah.
Saboteur? I think that's pretty good at
yeah,
Oh, but my point about this new player
yeah.
was that she was awesome at trash talk the whole time.
Oh, is it?
Even
I like her already.
the 3.5
like her
hours.
already.
It should have taken about an hour 20 to
Yeah.
play this game, with people that know how to play games. And it took us 3.5 hours, but we all had a great time because she was good at trash talk.
That's what I'm talking
And when
about.
you said this is normally an hour and a half or so, she's like, well, maybe if you're better at teaching games.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was awesome.
Well,
It was a
I'd
blast.
assume that'd be a good learning experience for you, Evan, getting somebody straight, not knowing anything about their hobby.
It's pretty rare to be able to get
Yeah.
that kind of playtesting, access where you're like, what does this play like for somebody that literally has no exposure to these mechanics?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like how dense is it? Pretty
Yeah.
dense.
Yeah,
turns
because
out.
you forget being in the hobby this long, you forget
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. But she learned it and she came back the next week and played it again and we chopped an hour off our time and and she's gonna come back next week and we'll probably chop another hour off. But
Then you got to
That's-
introduce her to a real game, and she'll love the hobby.
exactly right. A published good game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I meant. Not that yours sucks. I just meant a real game.
Yeah.
Would you consider Valeria Card Kingdoms a medium weight game?
Not without expansions.
Light medium.
Yeah.
Like,
I've
Like
never
me,
played
yeah.
that one. Yeah.
It's too open. I like it a lot. but-
I'm going to say this. Everybody, all these classifications. Is it light? Is it super heavy? Is it? I don't know, man. Games are games. I mean, it's just like, and if you don't know what you're getting into, and you you can usually tell what a game is by what you're looking at, right? I mean,
Not really. I mean, Last Light's obviously a Euro, but you wouldn't know that at first glance.
well, I
Yeah.
mean, you say it's a euro.
mean,
but
have you
how many
seen-
euros? How
have-
many euros have dice combat in them?
It's a joke. Do you know the whole Euro thing?
Just
Roy,
no.
Roy, for a while, I met some he called Last Light a Euro,
Oh.
at some convention. And like for a while, everyone was pretending it was a Euro. Like everyone was getting in on the joke. Like Eric Lang, Tom, everyone was calling Last Light a Euro.
No, okay, I didn't because there's euro elements to it. I mean, if you wanted
Yeah.
to call it a waro, but there was a lot of stuff that was coming out for a while that people they
Yeah.
would call it a waro.
Wario?
Just like
Yeah.
a euro that had war game elements to it,
Yeah.
or a war game that had euro elements to it.
I
whatever
wasn't
way you
running
wanna
in
go.
for a while. Yeah.
Excuse me.
I'm trying. What do you think, Scott? What would be a basic worker placement game to get like a totally noob into the
Basic.
hobby?
Oh, Lord's Waterdeep.
I was thinking that.
Already.
Yeah.
Okay,
Is that still
probably
in
the
print?
most Basic.
Do
Oh,
you
yeah.
do you
That was one
feel
of my
like,
early ones.
I believe so.
so what's the biggest barrier for someone that's learning a board game? Does it come down to iconography or just actions that are being taken?
I think they're
Too many
overwhelmed.
rules. Yeah.
I think they're just
Oh, wow.
overwhelmed. I think
There's a
once you
lot of
get them
kids
into the
games.
breakdown, they get it.
Because a lot of kids games have like what, 4 rules, 4
Mhm.
rules.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And some card games, some of the games we play only have 3-4 rules. But then,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
But
then
the interactions are
Yeah,
complex. You
Yeah,
play
have to
'em-
but
consider
most of the
that.
kids' games are small.
Imperium
There's not as many
Classics, man.
pieces, stuff like that.
well, yeah, no, Imperial Classes is a whole different ball game.
Crazy.
That's a whole different ball game. Yeah.
Yeah.
It,
Have
that
you
game.
guys played that Legacies game?
No, I never did.
Not yet.
Big, thick
Yeah.
box, giant
Hey,
box. Yeah.
it's on my table right now. Ollie.
Oh, is it really? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it's on my table right now.
It
I'm
looks
literally-
cool.
I was setting it
What
up.
kind of game
like-
is it?
I was setting
Wow,
it
there
up.
you
right now. Yeah.
I just,
here you are
I know
saying
nothing
something.
about the game, so I'm just wondering what it's about.
So basically you are playing over, your legacy. So you are every 2 rounds, you're going through different ages of time, but you're trying to like build relationships with specific people on the board or different players. And you can play like a regular person or a kind of villainous version of yourself. And you are, basically investing in money, and you're investing in different people that are throughout time. And you're trying to get up your fame, and you're also setting a foundation to pass along to your between the ages, basically to the next person in your line of legacy. So you're basically trying to be like Wentworth and Woolworth and that kind of thing over a period of those times.
Does it have a lot of like Chrome, like little,
but
like,
but it's-
like Chrome is more like special rules or extra rules?
dig,
or,
dig
I
this.
see.
Dig this.
Lots of special
It's
abilities.
got some, yeah. So it's got special abilities. It's got this whole thing where you kind of like, you are buying your inventions, your heirlooms. So you're buying your heirlooms to kind of like, this is your family and this is what you do throughout times. But it's got this slick ass action system on the cards. There's 5 actions on these cards.
Okay.
And you get to choose one of those actions for your
Multi-use
turns.
cards. Okay.
So yeah, multi-use cards. This is really fucking slick right here.
That's cool.
I
Yeah,
haven't
so
heard
it's
much
got,
about it since it came out. I was like wondering.
I
I heard
just-
a couple of people mention it, but then it kind of, yeah.
I had it sitting here, and then I actually was at a benefit this past weekend, and I bumped into the designer. So he was there. So that was pretty cool. By the way, I met Beth Hiley last weekend too.
Nice.
Yeah. We were at what is it? The Gaming Hoopla, which is for
Look at his just dropping names left and right.
Yeah.
Look at this. I did this, and I did
Yeah.
that. and
She got
I'm
hit.
so amazing.
You know what?
got hit
Oh,
with a
fuck.
little-
Oh, my- you know what? Back away from the mic.
So where is Hoopla? Is it in Chicago?
Mike's a little hot there, Lance.
Hoopla is
I gotta go say goodnight to my wife anyway. So screw off.
Moldenheim, Illinois. It's not. It's like an hour
Okay.
and
Out of the
15 minutes.
city.
Yeah.
I was surprised she's feeling well enough. She's been pretty sick.
Yeah, pretty sick. Yeah, she was
Okay.
banging it. She was doing it, man. She was out there
Okay.
working her ass off.
She
Yeah,
sold
tell
a
you
copy
something.
of Trajan.
What's that?
The Trajan bits she sold. So like a little. So we have this. What do you call it? POS. That was
Mm-hmm.
to sell stuff at cons.
Yeah.
So
I got an email that pinged a game that got sold, and I'm like, wait, what? How did this get sold? And she said, oh, we sold it at Hoopla. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
I will tell you all.
One thing.
All lean like if you can, man, lean into that one next year, man, if you can, because
Which one?
I was kind of overwhelmed. Like I was like, man, my buddy Ryan, my buddy Ryan, he's been asked me to go to this thing for years, and I've
Is it a
always
game
had
convention?
something. What's that?
Is it a game day? Or like
Yeah,
what-
so
what-
it's
what
like
are they-
basically a charity game convention.
Oh, that's
So
right.
so it's all for cancer. It's all
Yeah.
like literally everything. They have this thing, so they have the like the consignment thing. They have that. Then they have like tournaments they do just for benefits, just for the benefit. Like everything is donated.
Mhm.
And then Ryan Messler, who used to be a reviewer for the Dice Tower,
Yep.
he has a load of games that he gets, and they have to come in, and they have this massive library. So it's just a massive library of all the new stuff, and then he buys a shit ton of stuff. And then they have this thing called the best auction ever. It's the best silent auction ever, dude. They had some of your posters. They had
Dude.
some of the posters, but they had like the big box Takanoko. They had the big box Meeple Circus. They had Bard Sung All In. They had a Foundations of Rome there. They had the canvas with the expansion there. They had they had a whole bunch of just super rare random stuff.
You
We
know how
were
much a
just
Bard Song All In is worth?
yeah.
Six
You know
hundred
how
and $50.
you know how many tickets
How
I put
many
in there?
bids
I
were
put
on?
I put 75 tickets in there.
Did you win it?
But you know what I put my other I think I put another 50 to 75 in was Tricarian Deluxe Box. And I
Really?
got it.
Now
So
that-
I won
Nice.
that. Yeah. I was
nice.
like, dude, if I'm gonna spend all this money for charity,
Yeah. I'm gonna-
So
hopefully,
Like,
hopefully,
I mean,
hopefully I get lucky.
I always
I got lucky.
feel
So
like
Jeremy, did you
they
put a
never-
donation box for a table for Tricarian? It's
Dude,
a big game, man.
Oh man, you should see the top of my calyxes, man.
I always
Good.
feel that those. I mean, we're doing some charity for BGG this spring, but I always feel like it's a little cheap. Like people don't pay. Like we've run
Yeah.
live auctions before back in the day,
Yeah.
and it was like nowhere close to the values.
So
Because
this
I
guy,
I would just throw all my Kickstarter packages in there because I would
Right.
always have too many. So I would throw them in there. Like, okay, I've spent $500 for that. Okay, what would it make? Well, 250.
yeah.
You know, like so. I was like,
So for
I always
for
feel like
this-
it's a little under.
Yeah.
this guy said to me, he said, man, he said, what did he say? He said something to the effect of, he's like, the last one they had was like right around COVID time. And he was like, it wasn't as well turned out and stuff like that. But he was like, we had, got some money, we got some support. And he was like, and we were able to pay for some people's treatments.
Yeah.
Or a person.
Cool.
He was like, so then it was just worth it,
Yeah.
and he's tearing
Yeah.
up. And I'm like,
That's awesome.
yeah, I need to do more for this shit. So I just started spending money like crazy. So, I think all I needed was a
you run
commotion.
your thing.
You're
You run your
different
thing
than
every
most
year
people.
too.
What's it? Yeah. So
Yeah.
the thing that I'm doing this year, I'm trying to plan for it so it can be a little bit. I just wanted to make sure it's more official and then get more people involved.
Yeah.
And last year I almost made it to 100 families last year.
Yeah.
And the year before it was
That's awesome.
40. It was like 47, something like
Yeah,
that.
so you doubled
This
it.
year was 93 or
Yeah.
4, something like that. So,
That's awesome.
hey man, hey, let's see
Yeah.
what we can do.
I
Let's
took
see
care
what
of
we
I
can
took care
do,
of one of those families.
dude. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
So,
that's great.
I'll get it going. I put in $1,000 of my own money every year,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
we'll work from there. And every dollar counts. Trust me,
Mhm.
because the last dollars that I spent was sent to I don't know if you remember this last year. It did make national news for a minute. There was a guy
yeah.
who ran through a parade here in Wisconsin
Yeah.
and ran people over.
Oh yeah, I do
Yeah.
remember that.
And that was the last money I
Yeah.
donated. The last of the money I had, it was like $200 some. And I was just like, well, there's not a lot of people coming in. Why don't I just do this?
Yeah.
And then I donated to that
Wow.
benefit. So like every dollar, every penny is
Yeah.
going to something. So
Yeah.
man, it's just awesome.
Yeah,
It feels
it's
great
great.
that people will support it, and then
Yeah.
we really are helping people. Really are.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Scott, getting back to it's the name we lost. The cafe, Momentum.
FA momentum.
During the flea market, do people actually know what it's going to? Like, do you talk that up, or is it just, I'm just getting cheap games? It's
Yeah. What are you doing?
I
You
mean, I
wanna say
try to do a little presentation before the flea market starts. I've had the founder come in and talk about it.
you gotta
but
hype
it's-
them up
it's-
all
it's
weekend.
Super
Scott.
hard. It's so hard because people want to play games.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They come at BGCon, they want to play games. Like literally, the whole ballroom was like, and Chad is the name of the guy who
Chat. Yeah.
runs it, and he's like, he goes, I don't understand why you guys are all playing games and not over at the flea market right now. Not a single person leaves the game. Like they're just like,
Yeah.
Scott, what if you brought some of these kids in?
we did
Did you?
we did bring the
No, I
kid
mean
in.
just to play for like a day or
Yeah.
two, just roam the floor and play games with people and
Uh,
talk.
it's hard to get those kids into that kind of environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah,
They're
yeah.
fresh out of juvenile detention.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it's
they're very
overwhelming. Yeah,
skittish. Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
But we brought one in. We brought one of the guys. I always tell Chad to bring someone he wants to show to bring. And we loaded that kid up with games and like swag and stuff, and he was like crazy happy.
Yeah.
He's showing off all his stuff.
Mhm.
But it's
Yeah,
awesome.
that-
It's an
that
awesome
type of
thing.
stuff
I mean,
does
it's
change life.
basically. I mean, it's apparently it's getting every NFL city now is getting a cafe momentum.
Oh, that's
really
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
So he's
Wow.
really expanded it.
Wow.
Really
Yeah.
impressive.
Hey,
Yeah.
That's
so
really cool.
question for you. Just it doesn't matter what you say here. Would you
42.
donate to a small scholarship to help content up to 4 content creators? It'll be up to 4 content creators to get to conventions this season.
It depends on the
Don't know.
content creator, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah.
No, hold on.
If they're
It would be-
minority or
listen to me.
yeah.
Listen to me. I should say it like this. Would you donate to a fund where 4 content creators would receive $250 to assist them with reaching to going to a convention?
Yeah,
So I
probably.
think the question Scott is asking, which is a fair one, is what's the benefit to the world?
Well, I mean, here's the deal.
It's not the benefit to the world, it's the
if-
benefit to the ability for
if they are
accessibility for
not-
content creators to be able to attend
Right.
conventions that can't
Yeah, if
afford
they're
it.
underrepresented people, then for sure.
That's a benefit to the world.
Yeah.
I'd have to know
Either
about the
there's benefit
content.
to them personally, or there's need,
Yeah.
and then there's benefit to the world. If it's neither a need, and I don't think content creation is a
It's
need,
not a need.
then it's a question of it's a benefit to the world, and I think the underrepresented would be a relevant factor.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I want everyone to have that ability, but I'd have a hard time giving up my own money for something I don't perceive as being one of those 2 things.
Yeah.
I mean, I always toss Forest like $50.
Yeah. it's-
Well, that's
To me,
personal
it's-
favor as well.
Yeah.
That's another factor.
That's a
right,
personal
yeah, that's
favor.
personal favor.
Oh no, I look at it depends on the. I know a lot of contact creators who get in for the money and all that, and they fade out. It depends on the person itself. Yeah.
Yeah, but if somebody was even applying for this type of thing, I would say they're applying strictly because they cannot afford this kind of shit. Like they are interested, but they are probably more than $250 away from that. And just even being able to get possibly a hotel or a what's name, and just being
Yeah.
able to drive
Yeah.
down it for a day or 2.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, because
that's
there's so much money on those things. Yeah.
Now, another conversation
Like,
that's
and
actually
does-
interesting is
does-
if I saw their
does-
content and I thought they were super talented, I'd be
Does a
biased towards doing
convention
so.
make the impact?
yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of not negotiation,
I just feel like
networking and stuff like that. At
conventions are always
conventions
like
and-
too.
If I didn't go to a convention, I wouldn't have met Lance in person. We would have never slept together, and we would have never been.
Oh,
Never.
I just
it was a wonderful
God,
night of
that's an ugly
just
love
friends
child.
spooning.
it was just great. It was great, rough.
Almost seems like the convention
Rough.
itself should get in.
A rough love
'Cause
child.
They can pull strings and get cheaper.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that's
would,
what Gamma did. Gamma did that. They gave a
I-
content creator program.
yeah, that's what I'm not getting at that. I'm not saying I want to do a Gamma style. I want to do it my style, and I want to make sure that I'm spitballing on this one, but I've been thinking about it for a while, and I was like, maybe we can pull something off and see how it works. We'll see if it's a little sketchy, if it's not.
You got a charity behind it at all? Because sometimes that's a little. Like if I send you like $1,000 or something, it would be a tax thing
Yeah,
for you, right? Which you kind of don't
Well,
really want.
yeah.
if you put it into a charity.
yeah, I know, but you
That's
know,
what I was wondering if there was a charity like that you could do, that could work with.
well, I can also create my own, right?
You can, but there's hurdles.
What's the hurdle other than I could go file just like an LLC?
Yeah, that's exactly it. The hurdle is all the paperwork that you have to go through for that stuff.
I was able to do it on my own before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Straight out of Delaware.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just
that's
called work.
more than what I-
It's
yeah,
called work.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
It's just called
Because you
work.
have to basically prove to the world that it's a good, you have to say this charity is changing the world in some way, not just,
With at least 10% of its funds.
yeah, or well, more
Right.
than that, probably.
I
Yeah,
think
I think
10%
the
is the
key-
amount.
the
You
key
only
is-
have to give 10%. That's to legally be to legally
be
count
a-
as a
to
charity.
be-
I have to
Wow.
show
To
that
be a
10% of the funds I
501c3?
give. It's
Wow.
nauseating when you learn
I
that.
should become a charity.
Yeah, because here's the deal.
I'm thinking about
Here's
it.
the deal. That's true. That is so true because
They're
there
very
was a
shady, I
guy,
think.
there was an artist named Wyclef Jean, and he did something for like a hurricane relief fund or something like that. And he pocketed all this money. And he had to
Yeah.
fade. He had to
Oh.
fade. And
Yeah.
I did not know that. Like I thought if you got a charity, you had to like I have a sheet. I have a
There's-
sheet
You
allocated
can't-
for all
I
my
think you
funds.
can't pay yourself more than like,
Certain.
not going rate, but like a reasonable amount, right? Like,
Yeah.
you can't say, well, I'm paying myself $1 million a year for run this charity. And
Oh shit!
No.
No, the money I had
That's
for
something like that.
okay, so I paid myself through that charity last year by paying for shipping to.
Oh yeah,
I paid myself negative $400.
Trust me,
Yeah.
when I got that shipping bill for the first year, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was looking at my wife. I was like, well, honey, we have all these packages, a couple $100 more dollars, and we'll get it. She was like, nah, you better figure this shit out next year.
It's for charity. It's for charity.
Charity.
It's for charity. It's for charity. Yeah.
Scott, it's not real. I've been looking into forming a nonprofit. It's really not that hard.
I've always heard it's like ridiculously hard.
No, well, I live in Delaware, which everything's registered out of Delaware.
Well,
Chances are you have an LLC. It's
But you
out of
also have to
Delaware.
you have to keep the books pretty clean.
You have to keep the books
Yeah.
tight.
and
Well,
all the filings that you have to do. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, that's a lot of work.
For the nonprofit, you needed a board,
But,
at least 3 people and stuff
but
like
the-
that. Yeah.
The one I did last year through Facebook, it's pretty. I mean, I don't know, man. It was similar to a GoFundMe. All I did to make
Yeah.
sure is that I have my documentation in
Sure.
order.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
And-
that's
Really that's what it's treated with, and you just have to have good faith that somebody's not fucking taking your money and running around.
Yeah,
with it.
basically. Yeah.
But I totally get that. Like, but that was the whole idea. Like, I just was like, fuck it, I'm gonna pull all my cards out and just see what happens. I mean, like, what's the worst that could happen? I donate my $1,000 and a couple hundred more from other people, and then whatever, we do our thing, right? That's fine. That's totally fine. I understand that. And then I went on BGG, and some people were willing to send stuff, and that's great. Dude, as long as you're helping people, that's all I care about.
yeah.
I'm not running anywhere. I'm right here at all times. So I'm not running.
Meet
nowhere.
up with Wyclef.
Yeah, I'm gonna go meet up with Wyclef, dog.
We used
Well,
to
looking for-
we used to allow
$300.
people to post up their charities on BGG, and then we got
Yeah.
like a ton of scams come through.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Just because
Yeah.
of the visibility, right?
These people are
Yeah.
evil.
because
Yes,
people.
they are.
the
There
one.
was one guy who basically said all his games burned up in a fire, and now people tracked him down and figured out that was not the
Yeah.
case. Stuff like that.
He was
There
looking
was
for
that
a
one
Big
pretty
Bucks.
famous one from 5 years ago where the guy, I think it's the same guy. I think you're referring
Is
to
that, is that the one I'm talking about? I think that's one.
It might be, but he contacted like
All the
multiple.
to
Well,
send
no,
them
he
games got
contacted multiple publishers and just basically saying things along the lines of, I like not
hardship.
only did but there was a flood.
Something stolen, yeah. Like,
And then it was
Yeah.
like, and then so I moved him into my car and they all got stolen. And it was like one of those things where he just reached out to like
every publisher.
every publisher
Wow.
possible that he could and said, yeah, I own this, that, and the other thing. And he was just basically
it.
like, could you just possibly, I mean, I'm willing to just like, I just want the parts and everything like that. And then what
Ooh.
happened is that there were a lot of publishers. They're like, well, that really sucks that you had that fire and that
Yeah,
you
here,
lost
take
all
this
that stuff
game.
because your car flooded out or whatever.
Yeah.
And a lot of publishers just said, look, just give me your address. I'll send you a copy of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The board game
And then-
industry is very generous.
Yep.
Yeah, they are.
And
And
trust.
so, yeah,
Yeah.
and it was just
And
like, and I
trust.
remember not to speak ill of my old company, but I remember when that thing came in and I was like, just because I had dealings with him because he was trying to be a content creator at a point. And I mean, I had to go back and look. And he kept on asking me, he would kept on like reaching out to me. He was like, hey, I know you did a video of that one game. And I contacted the publisher and they asked me to like have you send me that copy of the game to do a video of it. And they said they were going to send you another one. And then I contacted the company. They're like, yeah, we haven't talked to this guy. And I was like, yeah, they said they hadn't talked to this guy. And then he sent me like emails that were obviously
real
like
shyster.
doctored.
Oh,
Yeah.
And he was just a complete shyster. And I was just like, and then I was like, yeah.
And
And then he this guy had the fucking balls to go on like onto some of my comments on some of my videos, and he was like, "Yeah, remember when you promised me you were going to send me that copy of the game to do a video?" And I was just like, and then you didn't because of reasons, like he said, quotes, like reasons. He was trying to call me out, and I remember and then like I responded to every single one of them. I was like, that's because you said like this, and then they said they have no idea who you are or what you're talking about, and then he like deleted his comments after that, and then like shit hit the fan like 3 weeks later. They found out he was just a giant fucking tool. And then I remember and then when he reached out to TMG and asked for like several different games, like not cheap ones either.
No,
and they're like, let's send them to him. And I was like,
we started collecting emails from people saying like, what did this guy ask you for? And then it's like, okay, we're gonna.
And I was told I would rather be wrong. My boss said I would rather be wrong like 100 times than not send a game to somebody who really needed it or something like that. And I was just like, well, that's good.
No, it's a great quote. It's a famous quote of somebody who said, there are some people who would rather not give 100 people in need to avoid giving a single person who's scamming them. He said, I'd rather give to 100 people who are scamming me to give to one person who's in need. Now, I think that's an extremist stance, but the mindset of that's the mindset of trust. So once in a while, I'll get taken advantage of. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Except
It kept happening.
No, it kept happening.
Well, when we sent him 3 different deluxe copies of games, just because he told us, and I was just like, don't do it. And then I found out I saw it in the shipping list. And I was like,
Hey, Lance, did I mention my car flooded and I don't have Deluxe
my
Orlean
God.
anymore?
Oh, please. I'm already on
Son
his
of
video
a
comment
bitch.
section.
you don't have deluxe. Hold on one second.
Can you
You
just
don't
ship
have
that over
Deluxe
to me real
Orlean?
fast?
I gotta take off, guys.
Okay.
I'm
I
running
said that when
the-
I first
Oh,
joined.
how
I'm still
Hey,
here.
everybody. See you guys.
How
See you guys.
convenient.
Get moving, Scott.
Yeah.
Get off your
well,
lazy ass.
How
I'm
convenient.
moving.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, take it easy.
All
I
right,
am.
Scott.
It's true.
Good.
Hey, guys.
You won't regret it.
Okay, guys. Now that Scott's gone.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I can't shut it.
He's
I
stuck.
can't shut the app down.
Right.
He's stuck.
Yeah.
I'm stuck.
I can't quit you.
Oh my god, how stupid is that?
So as I said, I'm getting rid of a ton of my board
So
games.
he's not moving.
Oh, you are?
So
You
yeah,
are?
no, I sold. I got a whole table full of my thing, and I in the last 2 days I've sold like 120 games. So here,
Did you get good money or GameStop money?
and notice how shiny it is. That's because it's still in shrink.
Yeah,
So
Is that
mine-
collectors?
What's
That's
that?
pretty cool.
Is that the collectors?
And then I found this in a box. Notice
Oh
how
my
shiny it
gosh.
is.
Oh my God.
I'm sitting too deep, baby. I'm on New Orleans Deluxe Editions.
I'm ready for it.
Lance,
I'll
send that
text
to
you
me.
I'll text you my address.
Lance, things like
Capstone's
200 bucks.
Send that to me. Lance, send that to me.
Capstone is going to reprint a deluxe Orleans. So you'll have your own soon enough.
Ugh.
Well, then
Don't
sell
worry.
that ASAP while it's still worth money.
Yeah, right.
No. I mean, I had a lot to do with the publishing of those. So I mean,
Yeah, super.
I have a lot of my I kept a lot of my TMG games, even though I know I'll never play them, just because. Like I said, I had a lot to do. Like Renegade, I think, is going to republish Crusaders,
Yeah.
Yes.
along with the expansion or whatever. So
Yeah,
it's
It will
like,
be done. I'm playing that
So,
online right now, actually.
I mean, I'll pick it up. Well, it depends on what they do with the rule book. I wrote a ton of the rule book, like the stuff that's in Crusaders that will be done, like as far
Yeah.
as the backgrounds for all of the different orders.
I
And like
didn't
I
even
wrote
do
all of that, and just like, so it's like a lot of stuff that like I did. So I mean, it's one of those
That's cool.
things where it's like I just kept a lot of the playtesting and stuff for a lot of those games I had a lot to do with it. So I mean,
Yeah.
I'll never play them. I mean, like Pioneer Days, I'll play again. I love Pioneer Days.
I'm going to break it out this weekend. We're having
Pioneer Days.
Yeah.
The having to go last in the draft is like you have so much power. I mean,
Yeah.
like, why don't more games that have drafting have that ability where you have two choices and you can purposely pick the one that's gonna fuck the rest of the people over? You can hate draft the last thing you do. It isn't just like, oh, there's one left, go ahead and take it. No, It's like, well, I'm going to take this. This is going to give me this. Well, why would you take that one? Because that'll help you. No, this one will actually cause the
Just have
storm to
so
happen,
much-
and it's going to screw the rest of you. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm going to do. So thanks
Yeah,
for
so
leaving
much
me that
control.
option. And so then the second to the last person actually has to consider that and say, I have to take this so they don't do that. And I have to take a suboptimal choice as well because I have to prevent that person from hate drafting it. I mean,
Or you don't want, or you don't want that last.
You're making me want to play this game.
I know. Sounds
Oh,
good.
dude.
Wait.
Oh, gosh.
Pioneer Days
so
is
fun. Oh,
so
yeah.
good. It's so good. It's
That-
because
dude, that-
because
that's another
you
one.
roll the dice. The dice are and so in the dice each die can give you some certain power. So the first person has the pick of the litter, right? And it's just like okay, and they don't have to worry about the downriver decisions that happen. But as you get down, so basically there's like is it 4
Oh, I
or
have
5
played
different
this.
yeah, there's 4 or 5 different tracks of like things of bad things that can happen to everybody because it affects everybody. And so when you get to that last person, they can look and see, will any of the things I take actually push us into the spot where we now have to go? Do we have repairs for our wagons? Do we have medicine to cure the sick? Do we have, all kinds of stuff like that? And they can just say, oh, well, I see this is gonna bone you. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take this one. And I'm gonna get $1. Why wouldn't you take the thing that gives you $5? No, I'm going to take the $1 because I just want you to have grandma die, because
Never did like grandma.
yeah,
Grandma
stale
died of
bread.
cholera.
So yeah, no, I Pioneer Days is a really good game. And then I also like the game that I have, which technically probably isn't like the best game in the world, but I do really, really, really like it is Lands of Air and Steam or whatever, because it was like it's a pick up and deliver
Oh.
that you
Uh,
that you have both. Oh, Kings of Air and Steam, thank you. You have your dirigible and you also have your train, and it was really, really cool. Yeah, and actually, it was like one of those first Kickstarters. And then Valdi was still here. He actually backed it at the level that he got to name one of the cities, and he named it Geek Town. And everybody hated that. Everybody was like,
Everyone would hate that.
it doesn't fit the rest of the game. It doesn't, like but he paid whatever it was, $200 or whatever to name it.
Added this to my order. Shit.
Name it.
son of a bitch.
Let me see. Let me go back. Kings of Air and Steam.
You know, my what was my low key? One of my low key favorite games from
Oh, look at this. This is
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Sorry. It was September. It was 2015, and this was considered a big success back in 2015 because it
40K?
raised $41,722. That was considered a huge success. Yes, pledge $250. Name one city on the board of Kings of Air and Steam.
What year was that?
2015. So yeah,
It's like Gold West. That was a good one from TMB.
I didn't like that one as much. It wasn't bad, but
Yeah.
Did you like Jiraku?
Yeah, I like Draco.
I like Jiraku a lot. I saw it just recently again, and I was like, I have fond memories of that one. That was a good one.
It was good, and it was.
I think
it
I
was
played
fun.
that one.
Actually, what's a really good game that Gray Fox publishes that nobody knows it exists? Well, people know it exists, but they don't play it, and it is
Jab.
No, it's a 2-player game.
Oh,
Chat.
Seven Ronin or whatever.
Seven Ronin, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good game.
Yeah, that one was.
Seven
Yeah.
Ronin is really, really good. I bust that out and I play that with my daughter a lot.
It's fun.
Because you have to because it's secret deployment. Both people have secret deployment. Like as far as like the bandits pick where they're going to attack, and the Seven Ronin decide where their Ronin are going to defend.
Yeah.
And then you both reveal at the same time, and then you see how they interact. And so it's like bluff and double bluff. And I
Yeah.
really enjoy that. I enjoy.
And it's
And-
asymmetrical because there's like 40 ninjas is one player, and then like 7 Ronin is the other player.
And this was one of my games of the year back when I still did videos into games of the year. I played Golden Spike again, and Golden
Yeah,
Spike
that
was
was a good
Columbia
one.
Games, and it's
Yeah.
like that's a game that nobody knows exists.
Yeah.
But look up Golden Spike as far as like fantastic little I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. The Golden Spike it's about building railroads and that's also a game of playing chicken. Like we're basically because like if you're the last person to build the last spot that actually finishes the
Is
railroad
this
line.
1869, the Golden Spike?
That sounds
No.
right.
Maybe, I don't know. I just know it as Golden Spike. So it's a
Okay.
Columbia game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really into trains, and I enjoyed that
Because there's one with a rating.
for reasons.
with
No,
one
that's not
rating.
it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Hold
It was
on.
the one with the top, the wooden blocks, right?
Yeah, it's got the wooden blocks. Let me just go to this. I'll search Columbia. Columbia.
Or was it
game.
Last Spike?
Last Spike maybe, or Final
Okay,
Spike, or
okay.
something along those lines. Let's see here.
I remember I was pissed off at that because
The Last Spike. Yep, 2015.
There we
Also
go.
2015. The Last Spike.
That looks more like it.
it took me a
So-
while to get into that because when I got it, it was missing like a dozen tiles, and I
Oh,
was
no.
pissed. And
So
it took
as you-
6
as you-
months to
so
get it.
if you've never played it, so basically there's all the little cities that match up, and you get to take different land grants that allow you to take certain things off the board, and it's like there's a lot of like you want to be the last person that removes the last piece to buy the last piece of railroad, so you can be the one that completes the line, and as the lines grow and grow and grow in different directions, and a lot of times like you'll get forced to make a decision and you're actually going to help somebody, right? Last Spike is really good. Track down a copy if it's out of print. I mean, I doubt it's out of print because Columbia just makes, I mean, no offense to Columbia Games, they do not put a lot of hardcore effort. No, it might be out of
They
print.
don't.
Looks like the only copy available is like $80.
Really?
Yeah.
I
But
don't
no,
think it's
yeah,
worth that.
yeah. Oh, it won the Mensa Select Award for 2016. So there you go.
The
Great
components
stuff.
are shit. Their
Track down a
boxes are
copy of
shit.
Last Spike. Yeah, they don't really they make basically have the cheapest boxes possible and have the sleeves on them.
Them in Worthington.
Flossing so hard on this game right now because I got this weekend for $55. And Age of Steam was one of the first train games I played that wasn't Ticket to Ride.
I think I sold my copy of that
Yeah.
today to somebody for $20.
And I was like, oh my, the deluxe edition?
Should have.
Yeah.
I've ever played a Steam game.
Oh no! If you live near me and you want good deals on board games, drive to my
No, that's exactly what my house is like. When my game group, when I send my game group a shot of all the things that are going out, like the salivation. Hey, I want that. I want that. I want that.
Give me that one. Give me that one.
Because I have a rule. It's 25 and under, unless it's like a gigantic game. So I'm just like, I want these out of here.
Yeah.
And they tear that shit up.
One of my favorite reviews is Tom comparing that Steam and Railways of the World. It's
Yeah.
very amusing to watch.
What did he say?
Well, he's basically the three games are practically identical with like small differences that actually make for big differences, but they're small things. But he's like talking about Steam and Railways of the World, and he's like, Age of Steam is just for people who don't like fun, like the kind of person who's like, nope, you immediately messed up your first move, you're done, you got to lock it in. Nope, we're continuing playing because we have to play. He's like, Age of Steam is for the kind of people who
I
want
know
to
that
win.
guy.
They do not want to have fun. They're just there to win. And the thing that's amusing, he's like, if you don't believe me, it's because you're the one who likes Age of Steam.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know the people in my area who like Age of
Yes.
Steam, and I'm like, he's right. He's
Yeah.
right.
Guess what? He is 100% right, because the guy who taught me it was exactly that way.
Yeah.
But I had such a fun time almost derailing what he was doing, pun intended, that I was like, I like this game a lot.
It's a solid game. I just like
It's
Steam
a
better.
solid game. So I'm going to give it another shot because they also have these new maps and stuff coming out. For
Yes,
it.
they're coming up next week, I
So
think.
I was like, you know what, $50, fuck it. I just spent another whatever here. So at this thing,
Yeah,
I
that's a good
ended
game.
up
I
buying-
like Steam. That's why I don't play it.
yeah.
No,
so-
I mean, yeah, I sold my games at pennies on the dollar, but I was just happy to. I mean, I got cash and I just threw it in the bank and
yeah, immediately on cocaine. Immediately.
immediately there was a guy there was a guy off
It's
the
cheaper.
Me and
side
Wycliffe were out there.
Straight up,
No,
you and Wyclef.
had a just waiting for me to, like, the cash just went into my hand and immediately
Yeah.
just went into his. You know,
It
so.
was just-
You guys, I'm
so
gonna make
bad.
I'm gonna make a train game.
God, why?
Well,
Evan-
because I have this art. Can I share my screen?
Did you buy that art? Were you the one who bought it?
I did. Let me
What's
share
the
my
art?
screen. How do
You know,
oh,
I
this
immediately
is-
knew you're talking about. I remember that art guy. I can't remember who was
looks
selling
really
it.
good. All right, hold on. Share screen.
Some
Okay.
guy was selling art online for a game he never finished, and like I was like, "What's somebody gonna do
Whoa.
with like the art?"
It's sweet dystopian, like
Ooh.
wintry.
Looks like Cold War shit.
I like it.
Yeah.
Siberia, yeah.
But it's like half finished. Like it's not a whole game.
No, there's no game here.
I know, but
It's
I'm
just
saying
art
the
or-
art's half finished. You don't even have enough art for a full game.
Well, yeah, you'd have to get more art too, but
What do you got there?
that's
Yeah,
it's basically
10?
like 8 different pieces. Which you can make the entire map with these pieces, but then you need
Like-
trains and other things happening.
You're
Yeah.
missing a few
Planes and
components.
automobiles.
Planes,
You're
trains, and
missing-
automobiles. So I have this sweet art that I just need to like make a train game now.
Wow.
If you make a solid game out of that, I'll be so impressed. I just love like the reason to make the game. Like, so
Yeah.
why'd you want to make that game?
Because
If you
Some
make
guy was
if you,
selling
if you
art.
if you make a game, if you make a train game, I want you to put train robberies in it.
He can barely put art in it, let alone train robbers.
Yeah,
Evan, I got an
just put
idea.
train robberies.
Remember that dice reduction thing I was talking about?
what?
Uh,
No.
Instead of having a dice builder, you have a dice taken away thing.
Oh, like Grand Austria Hotel?
Sort of, but I was thinking, you know how you have like dice builders in your building, and then eventually you're just chucking a bunch of dice.
Yeah.
Instead, you have a reverse. You start with a bunch, and something happens, and it takes away dice, like a resource.
It's Snowpiercer, and the food is running short.
That's what I was thinking.
Exactly.
That's
then you have to-
exactly what I
You
was
have to
thinking.
fight car by car to get to the.
Yeah.
Grand
Take us to
Austria
find out.
Hotel is just on my recent. I gotta
Oh,
find
dude.
this game because I'm bored.
Oh, dude. Oh yeah, I
yeah.
saw you post about that. I want
yeah,
that
and
deluxe.
the hunt is over. Someone
Oh,
felt
good.
very sorry for me.
Good. I'm glad you got
They
one.
felt very sorry for me. They contacted me and sold me the Grand Austria Hotel with
Deluxe?
the Les Waltz Deluxe with the dice. The only thing I didn't get was the sleeves for
Yeah.
$124.
Sweet.
And I was
man.
very, very thankful. I told him
Yeah.
I would buy him some ice cream if I ever met him.
Someone who
Yeah.
doesn't look at games, you keep buying a lot of them.
Yeah, I know.
Well, like I said, I'm in a phase right now, Alex. Okay.
He'll get out.
I don't want to play the games. I'm slowly working my way back, but I am buying a shit. ton.
You're in collection mode.
I have a
Collection mode.
counter of like I have a little number of my number of unplayed games at all times, and that number keeps me in check because it's scary when the number's going up.
Yeah, it's scary when the numbers going up. But some of the games that I did purchase this weekend were games that got destroyed in this small water damage thing I had. There were
Yeah.
several of those.
Yeah.
And then there was just like one game, like a couple games that I just took a real big flyer on because of the price. Like I got Iwari
Yeah.
for the deluxe edition
Yeah,
for
Iwari's cool.
$40.
Yeah.
So I was like, it had some box stuff on it, and I was just like,
Yeah.
I guess that's why nobody's bidding on it.
Yeah.
And then I got the expansion, the Norwegians expansion, which I don't think was hard to find for Feast for Odin.
Mhm.
I got that one for like $20. I was like, sign me up.
When the guy dropped off the games, he's like, and then I kept telling people on Board Game Geek my game's flooded, and I kept getting blocked.
Oh. Yeah. So yeah, it was I was kind of, like I said, I was 20 and 30 and dollar myself out. And then of course, once you get the, by the way, when you do these silent auctions, it's funny because of course, like the last 10 minutes, people are going back and forth, back and
Yeah.
forth, back and forth, back and forth. I went back through, looked at everything I had one more time. And I was like, all right, well, it looks like nobody's grabbing this stuff. I'll just let it be. I won't win everything, but I'll let it be.
Mhm.
They put all the stuff away. They put it all out and stuff. I go up there. And the guy goes, $173. I'm like, wait, did I win every fucking thing?
Nobody outbid me on
Everything I
anything.
blind bid on. I guess so. I got everything except for one thing, which was a copy of Imperial Steam that came out last year. I wanted to
Nice.
get that, but that one was actually like close to normal price, but it was
Yeah.
there without shipping, So,
Right.
but yeah, there was some interesting
man,
stuff there.
I'm
There's a
jealous
guy,
about
by the
that.
way, speaking of legacies, the deluxe copy, the designer was there. So I bumped into him, and there was a copy of Legacies in that silent auction. And my buddies were going back and forth for it. Two guys from my game group were, but there was another guy. He said the most ridiculous thing ever. He goes, you're not gonna win that. I'm willing to bid up to $200 for it. I'm like, the game's $150. You can get it like today. Like, I was like, wow, that's going hard. That is going hard.
He's
But-
really into charities.
Yeah, he must be really into charities.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fallback plan, just buy the fucking game. Save yourself some money there, buddy. But yeah, interesting stuff. That was interesting stuff. That was a very interesting day of board games.
Sure, it's fun.
But now that I look at this, I played Grand Austria Hotel for the first time about a month ago.
Dude,
And we played it with almost every module in the game.
so good.
So all of it all at once.
Yeah.
That was at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I took it on like a champ. I almost won the game.
Yeah. And then let's play again.
And I was like, I want to play this again.
Yeah.
But then I thought to myself, I was like, I want to own this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized I was up against waiting for a reprint.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeremy doesn't wait for reprints.
Dude, I did the
I'm gonna go
same
third
thing.
person up for you for a second. Jeremy doesn't wait for reprints. Jeremy wants something, I go for it. I try to find the damn thing ASAP. That becomes my fixation.
Yeah. First, I played it for the first time about a month ago I had played it online several times, but first time in person about a month ago. And I was like, I have to own this game.
Yeah, I was like, this is a really good
Yeah.
game. This Gollum game is one that I'm gonna try that one next. There's a theme here. I like this Luciani guy. Simone Luciani.
All right.
You say so.
And then
All right. It's 1 o'clock.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
I know.
Animals.
what the fuck be
Animals.
with you? Jeez.
Filthy.
Yeah.
animals. No, I mean, I appreciate you. coming
Bender
back,
just
Jeremy.
popped out.
Yeah, I know it. And that's, I mean, if people are just leaving, then, I mean, that's probably my cue that it's late. And plus, like I said, I mean, we got to have a nice long marathon one again. When I'm not in the process of like running a Kickstarter in the last few days, by the way, go back last night, gamefon.com. If I'm not in the last couple of days of a thing, then I think we should have a long, lengthy one where I can
Yeah.
I can maybe not have to get up the next day.
How's last slide too?
409.
I was expecting more
410.
than that.
Let's see here.
I was expecting like 6 to 8 somewhere in there.
Well, then why don't you back it like 100 times right now and then
Well,
get it to
because
that point?
Shane always tells me, "Don't buy these games. I'll just give you whatever you want."
Don't listen to him. Go back it 100 times. Buy 100 copies. There, you can get to that level that you want. No, we are very happy. We are very happy with what
Yeah.
it is because I mean, it's because the game's fantastic and
It is.
it's one of those things where I mean, if you ask anybody in the company, we are extremely pleased with how well it's done.
It's a
So,
great game, man. Yeah.
and it's a great game. We'll publish it and
Yeah.
then
And
know.
the spinny middle bit, like it's freaking awesome.
and we have a million things that we're going to be able to add to it that for the inevitable expansion,
Mhm.
and then everybody who missed out on the deluxe version will be like, "Oh, can I get the better one now?" And we'll say, "No, you didn't believe in us, so go away."
Damn.
No,
You should have backed
You,
this
you
when
know what? You
needed to.
sounded just like Shane right there.
yeah.
Shane will be 6 to 8 months. You'll have it. No problem.
that sounded like something Shane would say. He's rubbing off on you, Lance.
I mean, yeah.
Mhm.
They-
I guess so.
I mean, sometimes in our team meetings, like if like I'm in a bad mood, they're like they're like, "Oh my god, what's going on? Are you okay? You're in a bad mood." And I'm like, "No, I'm just it's been a rough day. It's been tough." It's just like we don't have our cheerleader though. What's going on? They're,
Yeah.
do you need a safe space? Do you talk? No. It's been a long day. I just want to get through this. I mean, just let's talk about what's going on. Move forward. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to
All right,
bed
man.
because I'm freaking
Cool.
tired.
Good night.
Yeah.
Jeremy, it was good to see you. I mean, it was
Yeah,
good
good
to
to see
see
you.
Evan and everybody else was on. Thanks everybody for watching. As always, go back last slide if you already backed it again. There you go. I'm liking the little the flatter top thing you got going on, buddy. I like that.
Oh, this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. This is just the holdover as the process begins again. Crazy stuff. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
It looks
you're
like you're
looking
just starting the Kid and Play. Like
It is.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just thinking that.
it's just starting.
good. Whatever happened to Kid and Play?
They're
One
played
guy,
out.
the light skinned guy, does like hosting. He was a comedian by nature. He's like his by trade anyway. So he does like hosting stuff. And then the other guy, I think he's just around, like he's not doing anything.
Yeah, I don't want
Just
to go
rich.
down a big giant path, but man, that first house party movie, that is
Great.
a fucking amazing movie.
It is a great movie. It's a great movie.
I remember like the very first time, like I remember I had like my sister suggested I watch it and I picked it up. When I worked at the video store, I picked it up and I brought it home and I had a couple buddies over and they're like, yeah, my sister told me this movie's hilarious. And we sat there like, not trying to be weird, 3 like 18-year-old white dudes just sitting just laughing our ass off at a house party. Oh man, that it's like
Dancing, laughing.
and then House Party 2 had its moments too, and it had one of the best movie lines of all time when he has his uncle or whatever come over to and played by Bernie Mac, if I remember correctly. It comes over to, may he rest in peace, funny man. But they're sitting there and they're having dinner, like hey, meet my wife, my fiance's parents kind of thing. And then because his dad had passed away, so his uncle was there for him. And then him and so his uncle and his fiance's mom started going back and forth, like yelling at each other about whatever. And then she says something like says something about your mama or whatever, like, and then he stands up, he's like, oh, my mama's dead, now I get to cut you, them's the rules. And like he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a knife.
Yeah, man.
Oh, my mama's dead, now I gets to cut you, them's the rules. I remember just like having to pause the movie because I was laughing, like tears rolling down my eyes. Oh man, good movies. Go find those if you've never watched House Party 1 and 2.
Yeah, House Party 1 and 2.
Those are. I mean, 2 is a decrease, but it is still a very, very good movie. But House Party 1, man, that is the whole thing is just yeah.
There
it was.
they are. There they are.
My sister was in her second or third year of college, and I was in high school. I was a senior in high school. Just so freaking good. And then everything. That whole scene when like he has to get all of his stereo equipment to the party or whatever, and he's like, no, we can make it fit. And he said they're just trying to shove it into the car, and he's scratching up his speakers and everything. Play, stop it, play, you're breaking my stuff. Oh, now I gotta go track that down and watch it again. Good movie. Yeah, thanks for reminding me of that. Kid and Play. Good stuff. Castelli. Oh my gosh, Castelli reviews, man. How the hell you been? I haven't talked to that guy. That guy hasn't been around forever.
Lance is still going on this podcast.
No, I mean,
no, I know. I'm just fucking with you, man. You're like, hey, all right, man, guys.
Ready.
6 hours later.
We're still on that episode.
no, I mean, I can't remember the last time I saw
man.
Castelli in there. That's awesome.
It's 4 p.m. there. Oh wow, yeah, he's
Oh,
still
wow.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
No.
usually when I'm having my meetings where everybody's sort of awake.
So the whole
Yeah,
thing
right.
the whole thing about Castelli was, and this is, and I apologize. So he did videos. I mean, he's old school mean, I'm gonna
Yeah.
and then oh wow, I didn't even know you kind of you came back because and then he was doing collaboration stuff with everybody. I collaborated. He had me like do something. I forget what it was. I don't remember what. But man, like 10 years ago, he was the freaking bomb. He was making videos that I wish I was making 10 years ago. Holy shit, man. You should reach out to me. Are we friends on Facebook? If not, friend me on Facebook. Or if you're not on Facebook, send me an email, lance@grayfoxgames.com. Holy crap. I haven't talked to you in forever. Holy shit. I mean, I'm sorry. I apologize, but this is just freaking crazy. Go and look up, just YouTube up Castelli reviews and look at the stuff that he was doing 10, 12 years ago before like anybody had anything like put together and like and everything. And I might be misremembering, but I mean, like if I remember correctly, he worked as a postal service employee, and I wonder if he's gonna tell me. And like I remember he had a video where because like and I try to remember where he was located, but he was like delivering mail by like on his bike, if I remember correctly. And he would do all these like music videos as well and stuff like that. And Jim, I mean, I can tell you that's awesome that you're saying that. I mean, but man, I looked up to the videos you made all the time. I thought the stuff that you made was just freaking fantastic. I mean, all I did was somehow, convince morons to hire me to work in board games. So I guess I kind of won that way. And now I just, put out a video every once in a while because I'm bored. But yeah, go check out the Castelli stuff. He crushed it back in the day.
What's the name of it? All I can find is this board game called Castelli.
So
review
go
of that
just go to YouTube
Oh, YouTube.
and go to YouTube and just type in Castelli reviews.
Okay.
And yeah, so no, he like I said, like he was.
There we go. Found it. Okay.
Yeah, and like just and then he did like I said, he was the one that was going out there and doing like the stuff that like and just trying new shit all the time and making awesome stuff. And I always wonder what happened to you, man.
He's still going, man. He just put something.
Well, no, yeah, he still is, and I see he did a video like a year ago that said like why I stopped doing videos. So I'm gonna stay up a little later. I'm gonna watch that, man. Reach out to me, Lance@grayfoxgames.com, and let's reconnect. Shoot me an email, and like we can maybe set up a time to have a Zoom talk or something, and we can. You can. I can tell you what's been going on with me for the last 10 years, and you can tell me what's going on with you for the last 10 years. Anyway, sorry about that complete and total sidebar there. I appreciate motorcycle mechanic. All right, too. All right. Well, that's it. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. I get to. I got a buddy coming over. We are cutting up an old broken hot tub in my backyard tomorrow.
Oh, delightful.
And so because it
Be
is
sure to breathe in all
cleanup
the good
week.
friend requests.
It is what?
I said be sure to breathe in all the good.
Oh
friend
yeah, I'm gonna
requests.
get
All of
right into it. I'm actually gonna make a
Everyone
pile and just snort it.
Snort it
straight,
like
right?
Coke.
No, no, I'm gonna no. He's bringing over a Sawzilla that he's got, and we're gonna just because it's just it's basically it's a version of a Sawzall, if you know what a Sawzall is.
I know what a Sawzall is.
This is the Uber version of a Sawzall.
Oh, the yuppie Sawzalls. Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, so no, we have a hot tub that like hasn't worked in 5 years, and it's just like sitting in our backyard. But anyway, it's so in this area of the world, I don't know if it happens here, but like basically 1 week out of the year, you can put anything on your berm on trash day, and they'll take it away. There's limitations. You can't put like
Hotties.
you can only have like one appliance. Like you can't go there and like, here's my 17 fridges, take them. They'll only take one appliance. You can't get rid of like construction material. Otherwise you'd have all these contractors that would just dump all their stuff there and expect you to take it.
Concrete.
No electronics or anything like that. You can't. You have to actually drive like your broken TVs and stuff to. There's a special place you can go to that'll take them.
Content one. So
And then No, and then I'm trying to remember. Oh man, you're tearing up. Well, I mean, I miss you, man. I just but anyway, no, and so anyway, so this has been sitting in, instead of paying somebody $500 to haul it away, he's gonna come over and we're gonna just cut it up into sizable chunks, and then because they won't take a giant hot tub, right? They're not gonna take that. But if we cut it up into like basically chunks and pile it
They'll
up,
take it.
they'll take that. You know, they'll go on it. But anyway, all right, I'm tired. Let's go to bed.
Cool. Night, everybody.
Adios.